Greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Welcome back once again to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. Just noticed my lights are already sagging, but here we are again to share some time, share some entertainment, some inspiration, and hopefully some fellowship. I have already dropped the link and pinned it to the top of the chat for those who do find their way through and wish to join. Today's stream, I'm feeling again very peaceful, very content, very complete. Actually, even as I'm starting the stream, I feel whole. And so I'm honestly going to play the stream play it by ear, and we'll see what the fellowship brings. Otherwise, I'll just do some brief words and we'll continue our day. I'm good with that either way. Today, the topic and fun with the thumbnail too. Leanne, God bless you. The creative talent I receive. Someone brought that up. Swinton's birds. Yep. Playing Jack as the floor Jack, lifting up. Because really, true friends are those who lift you up when no one else has even noticed you were down. And so, if you were honest about yourself, are you a friend who lifts others? Do you welcome others as friends, or do you really select and choose real careful about who you lift up, who you show encouragement for, who you share support for? Do you have a real narrow view? And how about regarding yourself? Are you a friend or an oppressor to yourself? Do you lift yourself up when you're down, or are you one of the first to jump on and pile on, beating yourself up? I know I've played the role many different ways. These days I try to be a true friend. I try to lift others up. I try to lift myself up. You know why? It feels better. It feels better to lay your head down on the pillow at night knowing that you were kind to someone, knowing you were merciful, compassionate, knowing you were generous with your uplifting spirit. When we lay our heads down at the end of the day and we can know that we did good through the day, that's all life is about. It really is. We make this life so difficult sometimes. What's up, Cynthia? Welcome to you. Blessings, and please and thank you. Share the like for those who swing through. I appreciate it. Today, the idea of friendship, I was trying to think, what are some inspiring words for friendship? But I think we all know, we've all got our own idea of what it means to be a friend, what it means to receive a friend, what it means to know a friend. We've all got these different ideas and images within us. So I guess I don't really have anything deep and profound to offer regarding friendships, just simply the reminder of what our true human nature is. We are social animals. We are here to connect. We are here to grow and to learn. And the best way to grow and to learn is with others. We are social beings. I'm confident the reason the world is the way that it is right now, it's actually selfishness. Everyone has been conditioned that everyone is in this all alone. Everyone's got to do everything by themselves, figure it out. I figured it out. You should figure it out. I worked hard. You should work hard. People were mean to me. I should be mean to you? I don't think so. I think that the best way for this world to change is for humanity to really, I don't know, pull their heads out of their ass I mean, that's kind of where, I don't know how to say it nicer, but I'm sure I could. America and the greater population of the world has their heads strictly up their ass. If not their own ass, they've got their heads up their ass of some leader they've imagined is better than them. Some glorified celebrity, some glorified politician, some knucklehead like Musk, Elon Musk, more money than he knows what to do with, more power than he should have. And he's just one of many. He's one of the named ones. And see, in this world we're living in, with all of the masses, all of our communities, all of our churches, all of the people that we socialize and gather together with, we're all in this together. And yet I see so many common people in the towns, in the cities, so quick to jump to blows and, bring out violence towards one another. I think this is the time, and actually, maybe I'll save this for when someone else joins the panel, but there's words in the scripture, and I keep forgetting to make some notes and bring these references, but it was foretold that at the end days, that the days would be like this, where mankind doesn't know what is right and what is wrong. Mankind is just running around, chasing money, chasing entertainment, chasing power, ignoring knowledge. And it makes sense, too, for those who do not love the truth with the free will God has offered us. With the free will God has offered to us, instilled within us, the free will, the power of discernment, the power of intuition, inspiration, all of these gifts God has given us. So it would make sense. Should we not love the truth? What's the alternative? We're going to fall in love with our delusions. This life we're living, it can be a dream. It is a dream to be realized and known. But if you don't know what life is, if you don't know what is real, and you're living in this fantasy realm where some politician's going to save you, some politician is the answer, or some employer is the answer, some job is the fix for your future. None of those things are real, man. What I've learned for myself, and this just works for me, but in logic, it should work for others because we have the same structures of mind and heart, emotions and thought. So it should work for others. And what I found works for me is what the other ascended masters were teaching. The gift of presence, the practice of being whole, being complete, being set apart, being one of. That might be confusing, ignoring that, but what I've been practicing for myself, and the feelings I was feeling, I identified within myself right before I hit go live, trying to identify the feelings within myself, and I do. I feel whole. I feel complete. The past is done. The future is just right here. I'm kind of anticipating, a little bit excited for the future and what the future might bring. Because the past lives I have been living in this lifetime, some of the situations I found myself in, they were not pleasant. Some of them were kind of scary. Some of them were a fictionalized scary. I mean, if I'm honest, because this goes back to what I was saying before. Earlier in my life, I had not found within myself the love of the truth. I thought I knew it. I thought I knew what I needed to know. And so, God bless, praise God, God allowed me to live the way I needed to know. And when I was living life on my own, without faith, without actual intention and purpose within me, and I was just, admit it, I was kind of floating through life. I found myself in decent places. I'm proud of what I've accomplished. Um, in my field, I did some things that others, may not have accomplished on their own. But as a union leader and as the positions I found myself in was a perfect path of progression for myself. The way God had laid it out, or the way that the universe, however it happened, it was perfect. I got to spend a lot of years in fear and confusion. I got to feel like I was part of the world, but I never really fit in. I just told myself I was fitting into the world. Actually, let me bring this back. I realize I'm kind of speaking in some generic concepts of my own past. My observations on this world today, I've taken a lot of flack because of some of the things I've said. Peace on earth, ending wars, all sorts of crazy stuff like that. But the reality is, when enough people come together, join together for the common purpose of bringing forth change, bringing forth goodness, we will. And so I was thinking earlier, blessings and happy holidays to you as well. Thank you for all of you who are swinging through. I was thinking earlier, though, my path, and all of us are living our own paths. We all do. We all do have our tribe and things that come together. I'll fix that later. I used to have a tribe. All of us, we go through our periods, right? We'll have friends and community in school. We break away from them and we move on to our lives, get a family, establish new friends, community. We move around. We do the same thing. Life changes. Our situations change. Our communities change. We change. So the realization I was having, I'm open about my path. I am trying to find the community where I fit in, where I'm welcomed. And so the community I used to have kind of drifted off. So I'm actively trying to rebuild. Part of that is here online. It's an incredible opportunity to reach people around the world, varying backgrounds and different personalities. I'm learning to trust time and what time brings forth, reminding myself I don't have to worry about the future. The future will arrive and I'll deal with the future when it gets here. I don't have to worry about the past. I've cleaned up as much damage as I can think of. And I feel pretty good about what I've learned from the past. So if you, whoever you are, if you can find within yourself each day, just bring a feeling of completion, not in a sexual way, but bring your feeling, your essence to a feeling of completion, because you've completed all of the tests of the past. Every moment you've survived, every moment you've overcome. And so This practice, for whatever our path is at, okay, whether you're sleeping in the street, sleeping in the car, you're sleeping in the penthouse of a glorious facility, whatever, each of us has our own path in life. And living within ourselves with these feelings of unsettlement, of anger, of shame, of despair, of fear, all of those feelings are not healthy for us. None of them are. I mean, there's a time and a place. I know everyone's got their arguments, but here I am having them in my head. All of these feelings of the darkness, and I don't know how else to describe it, the fear energy, the hate, the anger, the shame, all of those things, those are a darkness. And those darkness will consume us unless we fill ourselves. And I'm no scientist, but Nick's down there. He knows, he could correct me on this, but something along the lines of nature abhors a vacuum. There is no vacuum. It will fill. Wherever there is a space, it will fill. And that includes within us, within our emotional and mental states. It's real easy to become filled with the darkness, to be filled with the anger, the unsettling, the thoughts of revenge and conflict. It's real easy to get consumed by those things, but it's also, with practice, it's real easy to replace those things. And that is something I've learned from others, that I have been practicing in myself, and I'm encouraging all of you to as well. Notice what you're noticing. Pay attention to what you're paying attention to. Pay attention to what you are spending your time with. Okay, and that includes the energetic feelings, especially the energetic states. Because our states of energy, the emotions we're feeling, the patterns of thought, if we're real combative in our mind, battling these demons and these enemies in our head, a friendly face walks by. Next thing you know, you got some fratricide. You taking out a friendly fire. It's really easy for us to lash out at each other. It's really easy for us to build walls and push people away. But I tell you what, if you can have faith, if you can trust in your spirit, your essence, the trueness of you that is with you, that is greater than you, if you can trust your spirit with a higher perspective, a greater perspective of the world, and a greater knowing, if you can trust the spirit that is with you to guide you to the solutions, to guide you through the challenges, to guide you beyond the chaos, I believe it will. I trust it will. And my trust in my higher self has allowed me to find and feel a lot of peace within myself. Because this is a big world, man. It is a big world. And scale in the human mind, scale is sometimes, it's a challenge for our minds to comprehend. Considering the scale of what you know, with or without the science degree, from the size of the cells, the cells in our tissue, in our skin. We know science breaks down the skin is not just one thing. It's made up of all these little cells. All the little cells are made up of even smaller things. And then when you go to the greater side, hell, one man in the vastness of a city, in the vastness of a jungle, of a mountain, we are small. We are insignificant. and in the vastness of everything in time, the paradox of our existence, it is it's so perfect. It could only be divinely imagined and created, this realm in which we are sharing. Because if you really consider it, I mean, even taking the scientific explanation of the Big Bang theory, it all comes down to from nothing comes something. And from the something becomes everything. And we are a part of everything. I'm wondering how much to push this perception I'm offering. I'll take it all the way through. Hey, blessings to all of you. Thank you. Brother, yeah, the small does not describe how small we are. I've come to the conclusion, blessings, I have come to the conclusion that what we truly are is nothing. We're not just small, we are nothing. We are no thing. There is no thing that defines one. And we are so individually. Hey, Nick, this is similar to me. My path of faith, it took me through science, through being able to see the art and see the beauty of science and the knowledge that has been revealed, shared for us. Seeing that artistic expression of knowledge that's contained in the explanations found through science and study. Seeing how, well, and then the other part, simple logic and reasoning, recognizing the past is done, the future doesn't exist. Right now is just a perception. Hey, welcome, Nick. How you doing today?
Hey, what's up? I was listening. I listen in the background every once in a while, but you said something very interesting is that we are small.
Yes.
And people accuse me of being, "Oh, you hate God, you hate this." I go, "No. If there is a God, let's just start with that. If, I'm a scientist, I got to say if.
Sure. Fair
What
enough.
kind of hubris would I have to think that this God exists sort of in this anthropological way, like, some old guy hanging out in Jupiter with his long beard, like he actually cares, what I look at on the internet or what nothing. We are so insignificant and we live for such a short amount of time. But you know what? If there is a God, God made that out there. He made the universe. He wants us to know what it is. And I'm using he just because I don't have the
Sure.
language not to anthropomorphize this God. So forgive me if I'm saying
Jack.
he.
Yep.
He wants us to discover it. Look at how grand I am, how old I am, how beautiful I am. And I fail to understand why adults are so afraid of this. Like, what are they scared of? I embrace my insignificance. My insignificance makes me want to be somebody. Because if I could live forever, I mean, let's just say if I live for infinity, what does it matter if I spent the first half of infinity being a genocidal, crazy maniac, and then I spend the other half of infinity, being Mother Teresa? It doesn't mean anything. Our limited, finite lifetime gives us meaning, and it is so small, so small. And so, yeah, I hear what you're saying, and people get offended by this, and I don't understand why. Then they say, "Oh, you're a bad person. You're this. You hate God. You hate this." It's like, no, actually, I don't think God is that small. I really don't think God really cares, what dirty thoughts I have in my head. I'm not that important for a God to care about any more than we care about, what an ant in my yard right now is doing. I don't care. So I had to come in and get it, because I hear what you're saying. And we have different ways of explaining it. I mean, of course, as a scientist, which I think is the study of God. I mean, that's what science is. I mean, we're still asking the same questions. Why are we here? What are we made of? Unfortunately, people like me just, we have to have proof. But it's still fundamentally a philosophical question. Why do we exist? What if we are the only ones here in the universe? How can that make any sense? But what if we are? And if that's the case, what does our existence even mean? What does it mean? I don't know what it means. I have no idea.
Hey, Nick, I love what you're saying. This is the path I found myself on a while ago. And I think people get triggered because, well, you're telling them we don't matter. And
we don't matter. We really don't matter. And the irony is, if we accept science, and again, I'm not arguing evolution or anything like that, because I'm not a biologist, but I accept that evolution gave us this big brain to ask these big questions. Why am I here? What is my purpose? Makes us want to feel important. Yeah, I'll take it. Yep. And sorry. I have family over for the holidays, so
good for you.
Yep.
Hey, I want to press back though, the other side.
That I don't know. Sorry, let me mute. Sorry. Oh,
hey, you're good, Nick. I appreciate you. I kind of want to push back, and actually with here, I'm seeing the comments. Okay, I am seeing the comments, and this is where I'm coming in. It's a paradox. We don't matter, and yet we do. I came through this a long time ago with, there is a fact that what we do here in the greatest scope, over time, we will be erased for the most part. And I don't know. I started recognizing that there was a lot of futility in some of the things I thought mattered. And in the example where God may be similar to us, and like the ant out in the backyard, we don't know what's going on there. I'm of a different belief that we are within. The creator of this, the creator of this has such a vast and incredible intelligence. It's been challenging, I think, for us to comprehend, because a being of intelligence and whatever, the power to create physics and elemental patterns. I've heard it said that what we are is the universe becoming conscious of itself. And so the idea of the creator, the omnipresent, omniscient, I think we exist within God. Like I've heard it said we live in an electromagnetic plasma universe. It's all electrically charged. Energy is at the 0 point everywhere. It makes sense that we're living in like a mist, and a real thick, almost fluid, but it's smaller and lighter than air. We exist within an ether. And it's a mist that we just see, we comprehend, we perceive it. I think we are just thoughts and feelings. And so if all I am, and this was using logic again, everything I've experienced in all of the past, from this morning to being a child, those are in my memory. They're just synapses and recorded information that I can recall within my mind. The future is just thoughts imagined. So once again, just thoughts. And even right now, I'm perceiving the feedback from my ears, my eyes, my skin. I'm perceiving. So right now I'm just perceiving chemical reactions and electrical signals that are firing. And if that's all I am is thoughts and feelings, well, I just got to pay attention to my thoughts and feelings.
So this was about 5 years ago. I entered in one of these challenges, which was sort of this religion against science thing, where you could for $500, if you could stump this religious person using science, you would win. And eventually he pulled out this, he's like, well, can you quantify how much you love your mother? Or, no matter who it is, how can you quantify love? And sure enough, I had my iPad there. I said, yeah, I can absolutely quantify love. It's nothing more than electrical signals and chemicals. um and I go, yeah, I could quantify. I could take those readings from your brain right now and apply it to a scale and say you love your mother 7.23, whatever unit we want to use for love. But then my question was, does that devalue what love actually is? It doesn't. I mean, our entire existence is based on biochemical reactions. I mean, right now you're listening to me because in your prefrontal cortex, you're creating this construct that you're actually listening to me, and you probably already in your mind have an image of what I look like, what I'm wearing, what my personality is. I mean, you can't help it. That's evolution. Same with me. I'm looking at your picture right now, but none of that negates a God.
Amen.
And the fact of the matter is that I wish God was as simple as, a 400-page book, which allegedly I heard from some of your friends, Jack, not to call them out. They claim that that book, which explains their God, is actually changing right now on my shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah, they related to like this civil rights leader, Nelson Mandela from South Africa, but I don't know anything about that. But I mean, the fact is, yeah, our lifespan is so limited. First of all, humans have lived for such a insignificant amount of time on this planet. Our planet has been around for 4 billion years. Us anatomically correct humans, meaning Homo sapiens sapiens, we've only been around here for 150,000 years. That's it. That's not that long of a time. And in those 150,000 years, we discovered technology where we can build a star. It's called a thermonuclear weapon. We can end ourselves with that. But you know what? In about 4 billion years, give or take, our sun out there right now giving us life, it's going to swell. It's going to burn all its hydrogen, burn it into helium. Then it's going to start burning lithium, beryllium, boron, so on, and it's going to become really large. It's going to actually swallow the orbit of the Earth, as if our planet never existed. It's never there. There's going to be no trace of it in the universe except us humans who live for a mere 60 to 70, 80 years if we're lucky.
Right.
You know what we did in the last century? We sent out space probes. They're still out there. And long after we're gone, they're still going to be telling the universe that we were there. Now compare any terrestrial god to that kind of significance.
All right, Nick, listen.
Wait.
I know where he's going with this, Jack.
Awesome that is.
All right.
Beautiful.
Here,
he's worshiping the sun again,
I agree,
Jack.
Nick. Well, Nemesis, hold on. I know many, especially Christians, they've been taught that any worship of what is natural and God made is paganism, and that's to be put aside. But there's some facts,
which is ironic considering that religion is man-made, therefore is natural.
It is. But here with this sun thing though too, I've actually, man, the sun, the actual physical sun, the star that we see every day, that's a fucking gift, man, created by God for us to be warmed, bring us life. And the sun, as I understand, allegedly it's passing through some sort of crux in the astrological signs around now, and then it goes down for the winter solstice, and the shortest days, and then the sun is reborn again for the northern hemisphere here, as it's said. So the sun, is there a problem with placing gratitude and appreciation for what God created with the sun and the moon? And well, I don't
No,
want to
it's
say,
wondrous, Jack. It's amazing. But
yeah,
I think what Nick's
Hydrogen,
alluding
man.
to
It's
is
burning
actually
protons.
what he's alluding to is the fact that he said that in 4,000 years the sun will kill us. He thinks the sun
4
will
billion.
destroy
4
us.
billion.
billion,
4 billion.
billion.
Not
Okay,
4,000.
well, we'll have to say, well, that's not true. We're not going to die.
Well, we won't be here in 7 billion.
No, I never said we were going to die. I'm just saying that the sun in 4 billion years will swell to the size such that its diameter will be larger than the orbit of Earth right now.
No, it won't.
Which-
It's not expanding.
Okay,
No, it is. It is.
that's fine. But Nemesis,
It's
what
just not. I mean, Jack,
experience,
it's just a fact. It's not expanding.
according
well,
to
it's
I'm not
actually,
being
what
mean.
it is
you
a
It's just
fact
it's
that
not
it
expanding.
is. Well,
I mean, yeah, I've heard other people who study the sun and study all of the science. They claim it is growing.
well,
So,
Nemesis, if I could be so bold, I think you're trying to negate basic nuclear physics as if I just say it doesn't exist, therefore God is real. You fail to realize that I am not actually arguing that God doesn't exist. I'm saying there is a
right,
God. It
right.
does exist. It just may not be what our small minds think they are. And I don't mean small minds like you. I'm thinking even my small mind. We try to add, the fact is the sun exists. Thermonuclear fusion happens. That's why the sun gives us heat. And the scientific fact, just like 1 + 1 is 2, it's going to expand. That doesn't negate God at all. I guess if I am making a religious argument, I'm saying God is so much more than our silly terrestrial religions. And I would even make this argument.
Nuclear energy
No
is
madness. Now, I would agree that God must exist outside of our 4 dimensions. We exist in length, width, and length, width, whatever the third, depth,
Height and time.
and
Yeah.
time, right? We assume that God also exists in that, but we also say that God is all-knowing. God exists outside of time. And so then I proposed the thought question, how could you experience a 2-dimensional being? You couldn't. There is no way for us to actually experience what a God is because God doesn't exist within the dimensions that we're limited to. Therefore, we shouldn't try to
but he does exist. He
reduce
is.
God into a 4-dimensional being when God is an infinite amount of dimension beings. Time doesn't
Right.
exist in God.
But the fact that you think that you're insignificant, look, the fact that there's no God. Okay, look, if God does not care about everybody that he created, he is not God. Do you understand? The definition of
Okay.
him would be that
Why?
he cares.
Why?
Here,
It's just
this
he
this
wouldn't
is
be a
where
God. He would
Here.
No,
not,
that's
he
a
wouldn't
really
be
good question.
worthy of-
Why?
He would not be worthy of
Why
all
do you
praise.
assume that a God actually cares about who you are?
Then he would
Why do you
not be
assume that?
worthy.
Here, let me
Then he
let me
would not
jump
be
in
worthy
this
to
one.
be our God.
Nemesis.
Based on what?
Hold on. Nick, hold on. We can imagine the God that we want. Really, that's kind of what man has done. There's been signs and messages, but each person is kind of living with the God of their own design, the one they've learned from their parents, the churches. But Nick, that question you asked is actually something I found to be a blessing. We have the ability, we can imagine how much God loves us. And if you look for evidence, you look for signs, there are plenty of signs that show God's love and God's perfection. And here, I know this kind of maybe this is partly what brought you up too, Nemesis, the words and the descriptions of we are insignificant. Okay. That can be taken out of context, but I've talked about this before, through our humility. When we find humility within us, that's where we find gratitude. That's where we find appreciation and respect. And I've humbled myself to the lack of power I have in this world. I control no others. I don't even control like the vehicle I drive. I mean, mechanics, all sorts of shit happens. We don't control as much as we think.
Hey, that's true, Jack. But what I'm trying to explain to Nick is, and I want to get it out of the way to, and I'm not trying to probe him. I'm just saying.
No. I just for the record, like I'm
Are
not
you a
disagreeing with you.
person? Are you a person that believes like that you're your own God?
Why is my belief in any of this relevant?
I mean, like, does Nick Volt, like, are you your thyself is thy God? Is that what you believe?
Are you asking me if I know what God is?
Do you believe that you are God?
I don't know what God is. I don't know what I am. I don't know
You
what
said
God is.
that.
I don't
So
know.
you don't believe
Yeah.
that you are
No,
your
it's
own
not that
God.
I don't believe. I do not know. I don't
You
know. the
don't
answer to
worship
your question.
yourself, though, right?
I don't know what it means to even worship myself. Again, you're trying to pigeonhole me into just a standard anthropomorphic argument. I'm just saying God is something that I don't know. I don't know what God is, what a God is, what gods are. I don't
Well,
know.
I'm here to explain it to you. Ask away.
Actually,
Okay.
Nemesis,
I welcome your explanation. I want to know. That's
Here.
why I'm a scientist. I study nature because I
Well,
want to
that's
know
good
what
because
it is
I know
to
him.
be.
Hey,
But I have to ask you: are you qualified to tell me what my God is?
there you go. Because
No, definitely not. I'm like
well,
one of
And
the least
I'll make a
qualified.
loaded statement. I don't think you are, because I think you're going to tell me what you think your God is, and then I'm going to turn around and ask you for proof.
No,
and you're not
no.
gonna
I
be
mean,
able to give it to me.
I'm telling you, I'm not I'm not smart enough. But I'm telling
Okay.
you this.
Then who
God
is
wants
qualified?
me. Okay, well,
I
let me
actually
just tell
have a
you what
pretty.
God wants. This is
Hey,
what God
Nemesis.
wants.
Hey, Nemesis, hold on here. If we're going to talk about God, please allow me into this conversation. Okay, it's where I've
Please.
devoted my studies to. And I know, Nemesis, you're here at the right place at the right time, my friend. Okay. Nick, I suggest that you do know God. You do know your God. I suggest all of us know our God, but we haven't quite either accepted it or we haven't really solidified it within ourselves. But
That's that. You said something very interesting, that we all know our God. What does that mean? Our God.
good question. What I'm referring to is the relationship with God.
Is
And
it possible that my relationship with my God is totally different than your relationship with your God?
yes,
And why must they be the same? I mean, we're talking
there's
about a God which can be anything, which can do anything, exists outside of time. Why does that God have to be a universal truth for everybody?
let me try and offer. I believe our creator. Well, number one, I believe play on words a little bit, okay, if you can allow them. God is that which is real, okay? And that which is real is revealed to us each uniquely. So each of us are having our own real experience between ourself and the world. And again, I believe God is that which is real. It's revealing the reality to us, and take what is real, bring language in, and it becomes that which is true. We all know our truth, but we don't know. I don't know. And now I'm getting into a little sloppy, but
He says he believes in science, Jack.
I
I
do
didn't say
too.
that.
So
No, I never
science.
said that.
Okay,
Hold
okay.
on.
So
I gotta keep you truthful here.
There you
I
go.
never said that.
I know,
I
but
said
here, let
I
me finish.
searched for God by being a scientist.
Okay, so you're a
I never
scientist.
said that
Okay,
science was my God.
science. What is that?
Okay.
Science is just the hypothesis amongst
Science
peers.
is science
That's
is
how
just
science was
knowledge.
created.
Nemesis.
No, that's not. No,
Science is
no.
Yes, it
information.
is.
Yeah, if we define science as we accept in the English language, and again, words matter, and we can only explain this stuff, using our words. Science is based on the philosophy of the scientific method, which starts with a hypothesis. Then we go out and search data, and then we look at that data, which leads us to a conclusion. For example, that data leads us nuclear physicists, which is what I am, that hydrogen burns undergoing a process called thermonuclear fusion, and burns it into helium, which creates an immense amount of heat and therefore creates the sun. So, yes, I accept that. Am I saying that's a god? No. That's just a scientific process any more than, if I eat food in the morning, I got to go poop. There's nothing
is
mystical about it.
illegal.
It just happens.
It is illegal in the spiritual realm to do this. That's why the
Okay, I got to
that's why
stop you
the
right there. What do you
angels.
mean? How can something be illegal in the spiritual realm?
Because let me explain. Let me
Now you
explain.
got to define the spiritual
Here,
realm.
I will.
let's
The
see where he
spiritual
goes.
realm.
Okay, well,
The
first
spiritual
start with
realm.
that. Once you
Can I
define what the
define it?
spiritual
Okay.
realm is, and
Let me
whether it's
define it for
applicable
you.
to my
Let me define the
conversation here.
spiritual realm. Can I do that?
Here,
Yeah, I'm
There
waiting.
are
Sorry.
demonic spirits, and then there's the Holy Spirit.
What's a
There's
demonic spirit?
A demonic spirit is like, like how someone would kill someone. They have a spirit of bloodlust in them. That's a demonic.
Yeah, I'm not
spirit
sure
in
if
'em.
that's the reason why people kill people. I
well,
mean,
here.
No, that
Nick,
is the
let's-
reason.
Let's.
I
try to
advocate
stay
the
on
killing of
time.
terrorists
I mean,
because they're going to kill other people.
what are
Does
we-
that mean that I have a demonic spirit in me? No, I advocate the killing of terrorists to prevent them from killing other people. There's nothing demonic about that.
Well, here, the topic you were trying to get an answer to was regarding the spirit and the other, but
Well, no, and Nemesis said that what I
let's-
was saying is somehow a violation of what you call.
I caught that too, and I'm sorry to.
And forgive me for being pedantic, but like you said, words matter. What does that mean? Like to
Well-
me, demonic. I assume, and correct me if I'm wrong. When you say demonic, you're talking about demons, which come from mythology. Evil spirits or whatever. This is just something which there is no evidence of. Therefore, I cannot include those into my argument.
Hold on, Nick. Maybe
I can't
you've
quantify it
maybe
unless
you've
I can
not
quantify
seen
it. It
evidence.
doesn't exist.
Well, maybe not in your experience, but there is a spiritual area, and Nemesis. I don't.
And you're right. You're right, Jack. You're right. This is something where, okay, now I'm going to pull my
I don't
science.
understand why I'm
I'm
here.
gonna put
No
my
one's going to
science
listen
in.
to me.
If I can't
No, you're not
quantify it,
listening
I
to
don't understand it.
Nick, you
How
are
about-
not listening to anything I say. You're dismissing it. You're not
How
even
about-
absorbing
I've
it.
How
listened to
about
everything you
both?
said. That's why I'm
Can I-
questioning everything.
Can I
you said.
get both of you to yield just for a moment, okay?
I'll yield. Sorry.
Please, thank you.
And by the way, I'm having fun. And,
I respect that.
and
I
Nemesis, I got
appreciate it.
nothing against you. I enjoy this conversation. This is a conversation which needs to
Can you-
happen.
Yes.
Can you explain to me why someone?
Can I try and get out the point I was trying to make? Hold your thought, please, Nemesis. Okay, because I want to come back to what you were saying. You did kind of vilify, or you claim that you presented as though trusting science is a bad thing. That's what I came across from you, Nemesis.
Science is the hypothesis amongst peers,
That is
Jack.
That is your definition that you keep repeating.
That
Now,
is
what I've been
the-
trying to offer for you to consider, science is what Nick said. It's information reviewed through the scientific method. A method is just a way and a process of looking at what? Information, data and information. Science is nothing more than the explanation of data and information.
What we're doing right now is called science, like what we're doing right now.
Yes. Okay. So life is a science. Life is an art. There we are existing within an
It is not to
infinite-
be real. It is not
Nemesis,
spiritual.
Nemesis,
It is
please.
not the spiritual world.
In the line of the creator, okay, and we'll bring this into the spiritual realm too, beyond the essence of form. Beyond the essence of form, we've got all of these frequencies and energies that move us, that carry us, that affect us and create us. We live in a field. It's an infinite field of energy and information. Okay. Energy and information, if you kind of bring those from the universal aspect into the singular, into the individual, information is our thoughts, energy is our emotions. We are the universe. We're insignificant, and yet the universe is within every one of us. God is within every one of us. God
Yes.
is everything. And so, if God is everything, we don't have to make it so difficult to communicate with each other. We can find the God within ourselves, which is the Christic, is the loving awareness that is eternally present. And so, if I can find within myself the Christic, the loving awareness that is present here and now, then I can hopefully see and share the Christic presence with anyone.
Yeah, but he's anxious about the future. He's anxious about global
I never said
warming.
anything
I
about the
didn't get
future.
that. I didn't
You
get
see,
He
that.
said the
Nemesis,
sun's
here's
expanding.
the
You
issue.
believe in global warming.
Nemesis, hold
Are
on,
you
hold on.
projecting?
Let me talk about science. Science does not determine the conclusion and then looks for evidence to support that conclusion. I never said anything about the future. I never said anything about, whether a god made the sun or not. I've only talked about evidence, factual evidence that we can show that leads us to a conclusion. And what I said, that by being a scientist and the specific science that I study, it's almost a spiritual search. I want to know these answers. I don't think I'll ever get them. But you're assuming that I already have the answers. I
You
don't.
do. Yes, you do.
And then it turns out by you negating my answers means that somehow you have the answers. Now, let me ask you this, Nemesis. You tell me what God is. You tell me how the universe works.
Okay. All right.
Show me your evidence. Let's test it.
All right. So let's start first with the hypothesis, right? Let's do the scientific method.
Okay,
So the
hypothesis.
hypothesis
Now,
is,
I hold on. If we're going to play this game, you're going to use words. I got to stop. What do you define as what a hypothesis means?
well, I can give you my definition or a dictionary definition.
Well,
We don't here.
your definition is irrelevant.
How
A
about
dictionary,
dictionary.
definition is what us as a society accept.
how
So
about
I'll
this?
help you out with this one. A hypothesis is that I'm looking at the sun right now. It's still up in the sky where I live. It's producing heat. It's producing light. I have a hypothesis of why it's doing that. Now, I believe, based on other evidence, which you don't have to get on, that I think it's actually burning hydrogen, turning it into helium, which is generating a crap load of photons and a crap load of heat and a bunch of extra neutrons. That's my hypothesis. Now I want to go out and test that hypothesis. Do you agree with that definition?
How can you look at the sun and just come to this conclusion or even think about this?
Well, because I know a thing or two about nuclear physics, and I know that when you burn hydrogen, it creates a lot of heat, and it also creates spectral lines, photons.
But who put it in your head that it might be doing this?
Nobody put it in my head. I found it for myself.
Found it. Okay, where did you find it?
Through tests.
Okay, how did you test it?
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you know where the closest McDonald's to your house is?
Yes.
How do you know that?
Just explain yourself. Stop asking.
No, how do you know
questions.
that? How do you know where?
I know you people love to do this.
How do you
Stop
know
asking
that?
me
No,
questions. Just
I'm
explain
answering your
yourself.
question. How do you know that?
Then answer it. Don't answer
am
it without
answering it.
asking me. Well, don't ask me questions.
Here,
And
guys,
because I happen
hold
to know
on,
that
hold
you
on.
have
another
one
way.
proton.
Don't ask questions.
No, okay, fine.
I am
One
not
secret.
seeing real discussions.
You
I'm
see,
seeing
again,
it
but this is a
kind of
classic
deteriorating.
argument of those who want to minimize what a god is. They want to reduce it down to some stupid argument about how do you know that when a proton and a proton cross what we call the Coulomb barrier actually attracts each other, releases a bunch of neutrons and a bunch of energy. So how do you know that? Well, you know what? We just know it. As much as you know how far is the closest McDonald's to you. Okay, we
Yeah,
just
but
know.
science is constantly
Now, if
changing.
you want to
You can't
argue
rely
that
on
point,
that.
then we can ignore the big picture of what we're talking about. How I know that the sun is a giant thermonuclear furnace,
They thought the
or
Earth
we can
was
get
flat,
down into
like
the
what, a
weeds
couple
about
hundred
something
years
so
Oh
ago?
my
stupid.
God.
So I'm asking you, how do you know how
This
far
is-
the closest McDonald's is to you?
I don't want to
You know what?
rely
I'll
on
make it
this
even simpler
vague.
for you. Tell you what, Nemesis, how do you know you're actually talking to me right now?
You're being very vague.
I'm not being vague. I'm asking you a very direct question.
And I told
How do
you,
you know that you're
stop,
talking to me right now?
stop asking
How do you
questions.
know that
Just
you're talking to
explain
me right
yourself.
now?
Just
How
explain
about
your points.
how
Stop
about
asking
this?
I am.
questions.
Guys,
Well,
hey,
okay, then
well,
Do you know how to do it?
okay, then allow
Without
me to then allow the assumption that we know when two protons get together, they create a lot of energy. Are you willing to accept that?
sure.
Okay, great. Boom. There we go. So the sun is burning hydrogen, which creates very specific spectral lines, which we can analyze actually just using a compact disc. I can show you how to do it right now. And therefore, it leads me to the hypothesis that I bet you that the sun is burning hydrogen into helium, which must be a thermonuclear process. That's my hypothesis. I haven't proven that the sun is doing that. That is my hypothesis.
Okay. So
Now I
let me
must
stop
go
you
find
right there.
data to support that.
There's no there. That's it. That's science right there. It's a hypothesis. That's it. That's
Yep.
science.
The beginning of all science is I don't know why that happens. Let me figure it out.
That's
Right.
it.
that's okay. So what is our dispute? Do we have a
I
disagreement?
don't understand. What do you mean that's it?
I don't
You wash your hands
understand
after
what
you
is
use
this
the restroom?
conversation? What is the goal here?
Nemesis,
Okay. Okay.
Nemesis,
So
okay, you know,
your
here
assertion
I'm going to
that the
pull
Earth is
something which,
expanding.
Jack, you can even call me out on this.
Jack,
I'm going to
he's
use what we
asserting that the
call
Earth
it's a
is
logical
expanding.
fallacy argument from authority. Nemesis, you are not qualified to debate the scientific method because you
Ad
don't know
hominem.
what the
Ad
scientific
hominem.
method is. Therefore, I'm not going to debate it with you.
And you know what?
And you are more, and I
Here,
100%, I 110% respect your position. You
Nick,
want to deny science?
Nick,
Go for it.
yes, that's kind of what we're dealing with. So please, let's find a way we can move past. I don't know how exactly, but here,
Jack,
this is a
you're right.
common
That's
thing.
why I come here. In fact, that's what my benefit is. I have been trying so hard to accept the other side.
You're
And you know
not
what? It's
significant.
been a struggle. Just like the other side has been a struggle to accept my point of view.
You just told me that you're not significant.
I'm not.
Oh my goodness.
why are
Hey,
you trying-
Nemesis, do you want to understand or do you want to argue?
No, you're not significant, Nemesis. You're not.
Okay.
How about
Okay.
Nick?
So
When
Nick,
you
hold on.
die, your
Hold on.
protons will just
Nick,
rain.
it seems like you're trying to argue still. Can you please? We can help. We can find.
To be fair, I
trouble.
haven't argued a single point yet. I'm
I
only
under-
debating Nemesis' negation of what I'm saying.
we haven't
I
even
would
got to
ask
the
you-
data yet.
I'd ask you to refine, please. Try to keep the disagreements. If we can refine the disagreement, we can get through a point. But we start a disagreement and then we start arguing about words. And I understand words are important, yet words trip us up all the time. Snafu?
Hey, Mr. Snowball, Mr. Jack. These fucktards must not watch Talcottia. Let's get this back to Jack Talcott here. The topic was
Hey,
friendship.
stop.
I loved your topic, friendship.
Okay. Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yes,
reminder.
yes, friendship. I don't know what the sun
get
or all the
back.
bullshit I was
Hey,
hearing them
stop.
go
I agree
about.
with you.
Had
Nemesis,
anything
can
to
you
do
and I
with
be friends?
All right. Thank you, Snafu.
Nemesis, can you and I be friends? We have different
course.
worldviews, but can we be friends? Can we respect each other's right to exist?
Yes, I do. Of course.
Okay, I respect yours. That's it. We're done. We're done.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
I agree. I agree.
Hey, this is kind
I
of.
would
the
like
thing.
to learn more about you.
I've been doxxed 1,000 times. You can find me. If not, just send me a message on Discord. I'll tell you who I am.
No, I mean, I want to know more about the way that you think. And I would like to ask you, like, just,
Why?
okay, so
Why do my
if
personal
I
beliefs
could
matter to
kinda-
you?
if I can
Yeah,
provide
I'm more
evidence.
curious. Hey,
think
Nemesis,
about this.
I'm more
I have to live my life. I have to, I teach the morals I have to my family. I hope that they listen. They don't have to. My relationship with my God is not in question, and nothing's going to change that relationship I have. Nor would I think that I'm going to change your relationship with your God. So what does it matter? Can we
My
just
goal
not
is
accept
to
each other as human beings?
yes, but people are listening. My goal is to
Well,
guide.
I don't care if
Jack,
people
the
are listening.
Nemesis, right?
I'm a
How about
guide.
this, Nemesis? For the love of God, this is I want to remind you of where you are. Okay, this is my stream. You come on here and you want to ask all sorts of people who show up on the panel, ask them all about themselves. You want to get to know Nick. Please, I encourage you, go find a way and communicate. You can learn all about him. If you want to discuss God, meditation, inner peace, goals, those are the things that I'm trying to get across here. Okay.
And you know what? Let me be really vulnerable here. And you want to clip this and use it and spread it on the internet. The whole purpose why I study this stuff is because I want to know what God is. I grew up in a very conservative Christian environment where everybody's like, oh, you don't know God. It's like, I wanted to believe. I want to believe. I couldn't accept it. And I refuse to accept that my insignificant life is actually as insignificant that I think it is.
Yep.
I want to believe.
Amen.
And that's why I come here to hear other people's perspective. But to be perfectly frank, all I hear is nobody wanting to actually convert people. It's like, oh, you're stupid, you're this, you're that. It's like, no, all I'm asking for is proof. And you know what? If God created me, if God created my mind, he created my quest for proof.
What's this
I just
straw
want
man you
proof.
making?
I
I never
want
said
proof.
all these
And I
things.
know that you can't give it to me. Nobody here can give it to me. I can't even find it. But
Well, no, you know, you don't want to. Let me explain. Let me try to do it. The devil is really trying hard, Jack, for me not to explain.
there you go again. They say, oh, it's the devil. It's the
Jack,
devil.
He will not let me finish anything.
That's a cop-out.
Hey, Nick.
That's not proof.
Actually,
Please,
Nick,
one. I'm
he's
really
bringing up
trying
a
hard to
point.
tell you.
Let him get a point out.
Okay, so in life, Nick,
We'll
if
hear
you want
what
to
he
know who
said.
God is, there's no such thing as a coincidence. They do not exist. Luck is not real. The demonic spirits.
Well, no, love is real, but
No, I said luck. Luck. Luck is
Okay.
fake. Coincidences are fake. And
All right.
and there is truth. There is truth, and then there is the truth. God is the truth. Does that make sense?
no, it doesn't.
Okay, God
Doesn't
is
make any sense.
the truth, not a truth. The.
No, you're just speaking words to me. The truth, a truth doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is, I can show you. I can
The truth is
quantify
Jack Talcott
why
is a
1
white
plus
man.
1 equals 2. We can.
Do you agree with that? That Jack Talcott's a
No, I
white
don't
man?
agree. No, I don't agree with that.
He's a white man. I'm a white
What?
man. I don't care what skin you are.
What's
but
a
look,
white man?
He's white.
It's just
That's the truth.
generically. I mean, can we find any? I mean, we found a couple of agreements. We can find agreements to get through.
Okay, I agree with this.
Okay.
I'll agree with this. Nemesis, the questions I'm asking, you can't answer them. You can't answer
Possibly.
them. Okay, I accept that.
Why do you believe that?
Because I asked you. I just asked you
I
the
just
questions,
gave
and
you
you gave me an
evidence. Okay,
answer
for one,
which
there's
did not
evidence of God.
satisfy my insatiable curiosity.
I am trying to teach you who God is because I
You haven't
know
taught me.
Why?
Because Nemesis, I don't believe that you know what God is.
He
I'd
is
agree
love.
with that.
I don't think you know
He
what
is
God is.
truth.
Okay. But Nemesis, you've also come on this panel trying to convert others and
The fact that you're trying to
proclaiming
convert,
yourself
I'm not
as
trying to convert
conservative
anybody.
Christian, and a conservative Christian, I will tell you, is if someone's claiming that title, I'm telling you, they don't have a relation. They do not understand the love of God.
Well, I
Okay.
disagree with you.
Well, that's fine. Take your disagreement and go
Okay, so
somewhere else.
okay, let's go down this road.
It's
Nemesis,
fine.
I
let me
think
ask
that
you,
you're just
do you believe
discriminating
that
against
Jesus?
conservative Christians.
No, let's get a little bit anthropomorphic here, right? Do you believe that Jesus is the Son of God?
Jesus is God.
Okay, Jesus is God.
Okay. Huh.
Do you believe that Jesus existed?
He never died. Well, he died, but then was resurrected.
I haven't got to that yet. Let's just accept. Do you believe that Jesus was a mortal man at some point in human history? Okay.
Yes. At
So
some point, more.
I would agree with you on this. I do believe that there was an individual named Jesus who espoused all of these things, right? And then Jesus was crucified for this, which the religion which was imposed upon that story 300 years later said that okay, well, he was crucified because he, paid the ultimate price for all of our sins. Do you believe that all us humans are born with sin?
No.
See, I actually think we are. We are born with sin.
I think so too.
It's
So I mean,
unbiblical
like
to
for
believe that.
example, my very cute German Shepherd puppy, who's going to not be a puppy anymore in about 20 days because he's going to be 1 year old. And he's not a puppy anymore. I think he is without sin. Do you know why? Because he doesn't understand the difference between right and wrong. But you, Nemesis, you understand the difference between right and wrong. I do. Jack, you do. You could actually do things which were wrong. You have that ability to do it. I'm not saying you're going to do it, but you have the ability to do it. And that's something all of us humans are given, that we are the only species on this planet which has the ability to do things which are against the survival of our species, which are against even the survival of ourselves. We can make stupid choices. We have that right to do it. In other words, we have the knowledge of right and wrong, which is what Christianity tells us. That, we had paradise until God and Satan was the one who said, no, humans should have the right to know both good and evil. And we were given the ability to know what evil is. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
do we
So
have?
what does that mean? What does it mean to know what evil is?
it's within myself.
It gives us a choice, right?
Mhm.
It gives us a choice because
Each moment.
For example, my German Shepherd, soon to not be a puppy, doesn't have the ability to be a immoral being. It cannot be an immoral being. It's not going to randomly attack one of us, or it's not going to murder one of us. No, it will sacrifice its life to protect its pack. It doesn't even have the choice not to do it. It doesn't even have the choice to be afraid and run away if a robber comes. No, it would sacrifice its life to protect us because that is its job as a being.
No, it
But not
chooses
us
to
humans.
love you.
Not us humans.
It has a choice.
Us humans can experience fear.
The dog has a choice. Love is a choice.
Does my dog have a choice to love me?
Yes.
Who knows?
It has free will.
Are you sure? All the evidence shows that it doesn't. Once it imprints on my smell, that's why people get away with abusing their animals, because that animal will just keep coming back because it knows no better.
To love you.
So do we have disagreement?
No, that's a good question, Nemesis. Does Wilhelm, my German Shepherd, who's very cute, I'll put a picture up of him, does he have the choice not to love me? Or is he commanded by nature to love me because I'm the one who raised him?
Nature is powerless.
I'm not sure where are we going with this?
Well, where I'm going with this is what makes us humans unique. What gives us this struggle.
The dog is pretty present and living moment to moment,
right,
like we can.
You're 100% correct. In fact, you were going where I was going with this. You said imagination. What do you mean by that?
I'm not sure where. Well, I don't know if animals have the power of imagination like us.
Exactly. And all of the again, I'm not a biologist, so I'm not claiming to be an expert at this, but the one thing which makes us humans unique is we can imagine, we can tell stories. We can imagine, like right now, within a matter of microseconds, you could think about something which happened yesterday. You can hypothesize about something which is going to happen tomorrow. I didn't pay my insurance bill, so tomorrow I'm going to get pulled over by the cops. That can happen. It's stuff which we don't really think about, but we are sort of a unique animal that we have that ability to do that, and that's partly because we have this giant brain, which evolution has given us. And so then here comes this story about Jesus. Jesus says that we're all born innocent, but then we chose to know the difference between right and wrong. Now, my German Shepherd there could not murder my family. It couldn't do it. Not because it doesn't want to. It could not do it. But could I? Yeah, I could. I'm not saying I would. I'm just saying, could I? And the reason why I'm saying yes, it could, because it's happened before. People do this. Because I have been given the choice between right and wrong. I have the ability to go beyond my programming, beyond what a God or nature has given me. I know the difference between right and wrong. I can kill people. I can choose not to kill people. I can commit crime. I can choose not to commit crime. And isn't that what Jesus was telling us?
Hey, yes. I want to jump in here because we're getting into stuff that really is my favorite topic. Mind, consciousness, thoughts, imagination, those are and emotions, thoughts and emotions. Those are the things I've really been focusing my time on. This imagination, it is a gift, and it is, I believe, what separates us from the beasts. And we were given the direction of what is right and what is wrong. But at every moment, we can either be present or we can live in our memory and imaginations. And this world has taught us not to be present. The world has conditioned us to live in the past, to, future trip and spend all of our energy outside of where we are.
Yep. No, I 100% agree with you. In fact, I mean, let's make this simple. How can I train Wilhelm, my dog, to live in the past? Is it even something I could do?
Punishment. You beat a dog, he's gonna pick up those memories.
Perhaps, but
just like a man. You beat a man.
No pun intended, but that would be a Pavlovian response. If I do this, I get this. If I do this, I get this.
Yeah.
But the one thing which does control humans is, don't they all tell us how to either live in the past or worry about the future? You better get life insurance, because what's going to happen when you die? Does it really matter what's going to happen to you when you die? No, you're going to be gone. You're not going to care. But they convince you that's what you need to do. Right. Or, I've done these bad things in the past. I have to go to jail to repent for all of these sins I've committed, and then somehow when I get out, I've been absolved of them. Everything's about the past as the present, but that is the consequence of understanding the difference between right and wrong. If you don't actually have an infinite life, because I mean that's what Jesus tells us: accept me and you will have infinite life. Right and wrong only matter if you have a finite life. Having infinite life doesn't matter. My dog Wilhelm has an infinite life. Doesn't understand what it was before it was born, is not going to understand what it is after it dies. It only exists right now.
I love,
and therefore it only makes decisions which benefit it right now. But you and I, Nemesis, everybody in the chat, we can make decisions which either justify what we did in the past, or we'll absolve ourselves of sins of what we're going to do in the future. I had to
Everything,
murder that
everything
person.
you just said about dogs, and I have to disagree because, and let me ask you this: if you don't think dogs are intelligent, I think
I
dogs
didn't
are
say that.
actually better than humans, and let
I
me
didn't say that.
explain.
No. Words matter. I never said dogs were not intelligent.
Dogs are better than humans in various ways. They have like one of my dogs hides under the bed and trolls my other dogs. Like whenever they jump on the bed, she'll jump out and attack it, and they
Okay.
play, and they come up with complex games to play with each other at 5.
Yep.
They come
No,
up with
my
complex
cat,
games.
who I'll put in the same category as my dog, can solve problems. You know, my cat is smart enough to know when it's on one side of the door, it needs to pull, and when it's on the other side of the door, it needs to push. They can solve problems. You and I are not disagreeing about any of this.
He's better than you. Your dog is because he chose love. You have not chose love yet. You have to choose love.
Okay, that's a bold statement.
Wow. Yeah.
That's a
That is
bold
bold
statement.
He chose to love, and it's
You're
happy.
making the claim, Nick.
You
has
You have
missed
not
what I said,
chosen love
Nemesis.
yet, Nick.
My
How do
dog
you know?
has no ability to choose. It has to love.
No, it does
How
not.
about
Yes,
this?
it does.
Nick, do you agree with the claim you've not chosen to love?
No, I don't agree with that.
He thinks that things don't
All I
have free
said is that
will.
humans have a choice. We have the ability to choose from right from wrong. That's all I
So
said.
do
I didn't tell you
animals.
what my choice is. And to negate that choice would be to negate almost every Abrahamic religion, the ability to choose from right from wrong.
You have not chose love because you have not chose
How do you know?
Because you haven't chose God.
How do
Because
you
you're
know?
looking for him.
No. Okay. Now we're gonna have some fun here, Nemesis, because you're making actual legitimate claims. One, you said I haven't chosen love. So let me start with that. Let me ask you, why do you think that?
Okay, so
Do I choose
God
not
is
to
a
love my
person.
dog?
You know God
Okay,
is a
let me ask you
person
this.
that you could
If
talk
I
to.
say I love my dog, Wilhelm, who's on the screen right now, are you saying that I'm lying about that? I've chosen not to love him?
Okay, there is love, and then there is the love, truth,
Okay,
and then the truth.
okay. That's fine. Good. Let's define what love is then. Let's start with that, because I can't actually, since your definition of love is a little bit ambiguous here. Let's first define what you are saying what love is.
I mean, you're asking me to describe what God is. I mean,
Hey,
No, I'm not. I'm asking you to describe what you define as love. Do you not
How
know what
about-
love is? Do you
how
love
about
this is the
anybody?
whole point of the panel. This is the whole
love
point of Jack's
and God
ministry.
are the same. There's no separation. They're both undefinable. They're both.
Okay. So let's go with that. Are you asking me, Nemesis, whether I think Wilhelm is my God?
No, I'm trying to tell you that Wilhelm has chosen love. He's chosen to love you
And I'm arguing that
unconditionally.
no, evolution.
God has chosen
and
to love
genetics
you unconditionally. You
made
know,
it that
God
he
has a
doesn't
choice
have
too,
the
Nick.
choice. He doesn't have the choice but to love me. I provide him with food and protection. He has to love me.
You do nothing.
He does
You
not.
keep
He
him?
does not
No.
have the choice to murder me in my sleep.
Let him outside. He'll find water and he'll hunt small rodents for food.
He
He
won't
doesn't
do it.
need you. He does not
Have
need
you ever owned a dog before? I mean, you
own
want to talk about
5.
zoology now?
I own 5 right now.
Okay, so you're saying that. So how have I not chosen love? Let's get back
My
to that.
beagles, my 2 beagles. One
I
of them's
love
dead
beagles.
now. They ran away for 3 days. They did not need me to survive. They did not die. They don't need you to survive.
No, they don't. Nor does my
No.
cat. Nor does my cat.
Okay, so let's get over that. They don't need you. Okay, they choose to be with you. They're not.
No, I
they don't
hate
love
beagles.
you. They're in
My
love
wife-
with you.
My wife had a beagle, and it's like, okay, you got to bring the beagle over. It's like, this is the most useless. Like, I feed Wilhelm because Wilhelm protects the household. He will guard, myself and my family with his life. A beagle wants to eat, but you know what? I agree with you. Beagles are really cute dogs.
I'm trying to explain to you that your dog has the purpose in life. You have no purpose because you have not chose love.
Oh, so you define what my purpose is in life?
Yes.
Do you have a purpose in life?
Yes.
What is it?
My purpose, my wife is pregnant right now with a baby. My purpose
Hooray,
is
you
to
had
be a
sex.
father.
Good deal. That's evolution talking.
What do you
Evolution
mean?
makes sex feel
We've
good,
been
doesn't
having
it?
sex for 4
Doesn't
years.
it? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sex doesn't create children.
Yeah, it helps, though. It helps.
God creates children.
No, RNA creates children.
That's funny to me because what about the Immaculate Conception?
I don't know what that is.
Mary had.
Are you saying
Jesus
that your
without
wife was
having
actually
sex.
impregnated by somebody, but not yourself? And so you were telling yourself that your wife got
In
pregnant, but
order
she
to
wasn't
be a
raped by somebody
Christian,
else?
you must believe that God creates life.
Oh,
not
see,
man.
now you keep on throwing other things into the equation, which have nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Mary Magdalene
Do you
never
disagree
had
with
sex.
me that sex feels good?
Mary Magdalene
All
never
right.
had
Does sex
sex.
feel good?
Hey guys, can I've been patient. Okay. I want to either bring this back to, I don't know.
No. We're having fun here. We're having fun here.
I know you are, Nick, but
No,
this
because
is
you're
the
getting
thing.
put
You
in your
guys are having
spot.
fun,
Because
ignoring my
you're trying to
purpose.
add mysticism to these beautiful things, which are having a child. Believe me, I mean, having a child was most definitely a godlike experience. It actually made myself feel less insignificant because even though I know that the molecules in my body will rearrange themselves and I shall no longer exist, I shall still go on. And hopefully my offspring will then continue that. I mean, who knows what's going to happen 100
Well,
years
how
from now,
about
200 years from now, 300
again,
years from
Nick?
now? I mean, all of us,
Again, Nick.
every one of us,
Nick.
you,
Hello,
Nemesis,
Nick. Hello.
Jack, my dog, we are all descendants from people from the beginning of time.
What is
We
going
live
on
forever.
here?
So, but
It feels
you're
like
adding
you're
all of this
talking.
effort, like
When you shut up, you'll understand.
that's your argument. When I shut up, I'll understand.
Well, Nick, you're not allowing me to offer much of anything. You're continuing to talk, and I know this is fun. I appreciate what you bring. I know everyone is where we're supposed to be. Now, when I click go live, what I'm trying to offer to anyone who finds their way is a little more spiritual ideas. And I know we're kind of talking about that, but I'm not sure
Jack,
what the point
you're correct.
is.
You're correct. You're correct. Forgive me when Nemesis and you talk. I sometimes get too confused. I don't mean to interrupt you because regardless of whatever your beliefs are and whether you disagree with me, it's your show. You do what you want. And so if I was interrupting you, I thought I was interrupting Nemesis. And yeah, I was kind of being a-hole because I was bashing
You were
Nemesis
having
into the
fun.
ground.
You
but
were having fun.
yeah,
I
forgive
appreciate
me.
it.
Forgive me. Continue. Sorry.
Thank
I'll even
you.
mute myself.
Well, you and I, we do have some similarities. We've got admiration of science. I don't have what you've got, certainly, but our friend Nemesis, the question you asked, do you have a purpose? Nemesis, brother, I've been wondering what your purpose is when you click join the stream, because it seems like you're continuing to try and one up me and others wherever you go. And that's an egoic pattern that's not healthy. The way I view it, okay, the way I view God and the truth is we are able to share the truth between each other, but the devil within us, the agent of chaos, wants to come in and take over, just like the Luciferian archetype, right? And so all of us, we at each moment we live moment by moment by moment. And if we're not paying attention to what we're doing and the experience we are sharing with others, we can go real quick from being a blessing, well, to being an interruption. And I don't want people to feel like an interruption. I know I do that to people when they show up here. I don't mean to do that. But I am inspired deeply deeply inspired.
what you say is correct. And again, forgive me. And that's part of the reason why I come on these panels, because my colleagues have accused me of being unrelenting, unable to accept the other side. For example, I'm talking to this NG
Sociopath.
New Jersey
You believe
Jeep girl
animals have no
about
choice.
the flat Earth. You know, when I started my career in academia, I was like, oh, look, dude, if you're an adult and you believe the world is flat, you're an idiot. I've refined those views and started to empathize with the other side, and I've learned some, you know, significant questions. But I think, you know, I don't know what God is. I really don't. That's why I'm here. I can't find God in a church. I can't do it. I'm jealous of all of you. I really am. Like, I wish I could just find comfort in asking those questions. Why do I exist? Why am I here? What is my purpose? Does any of this mean anything? You know,
It's
and the
simple.
fact is,
It's
science
not
tells me that the
complicated.
world is going to be gone in 4 billion years. We're going to be gone.
You
I
ain't
could
got to
die
think about it.
tomorrow.
The
I could die in a
gospel's
car
simple.
crash tomorrow. What is it going to matter?
Who cares?
And I
The
know that
gospel's
all of
simple.
the molecules inside of my body are as old as the molecules in your body, as all the molecules in your Nemesis. We're all the same. But what is it in this vertex of time that makes us unique?
It's
And the
simple.
fact is, if God gave me this brain to ask these questions, he wants me to ask them.
You can ask all you want, and you can be a doubter.
But you are not God.
No.
Here,
I am not God.
Please, let's Nemesis. Rather than an argument, do you have?
It's like he
Let
doesn't
me
want
ask
it.
you this, Nemesis.
It's like I'm trying to give him the medicine. It's not working.
Why do you have so much hubris that you actually think that you know what God wants of me and what he doesn't? Do you think God is happy with me? Do you think God is sad with me?
That's a good question.
God wants you to, you know, get the good news. And the good news is this, Nick. It's simple to understand. All you got to do is believe.
Is it?
That
Is
Jesus died? Yes, it's very simple.
Oh my!
What did you have for lunch?
It's simple enough for a child to understand.
What did you have for lunch? No, let me ask you. No, let's go with that. It's simple to understand. What did you have for lunch?
A ham sandwich.
Did it taste good?
It was a decent, you know, average.
Why? Why did it taste good?
Because God made it that way. He made it. He made it.
Do you think God would be happy with you just knowing God made it that way and just accepting it? Or would God want me to know, why does God give me pleasure when I eat a good meal? I mean, eating good food tastes goddamn good. It really does.
I've wondered where those good feelings come from.
Well, proteins, when they digest, when they hit our, you know, I mean, we're omnivores. Meat tastes good to us.
Well,
fatty foods taste good to us for a very specific evolutionary reason.
Hey, Nick. Hey, can I help you understand by playing the antithesis?
I mean, are you satisfied with not knowing the answers to this question?
Can I help you understand?
To accept that the king says it's so.
You have to let me help you understand. I cannot force you to do this. I cannot convince you.
I don't have to do that, but okay,
you just have to simply listen. Will you listen?
I don't know. Will you listen to me?
Yes, I listen. I mute myself for 3 minutes at a time.
So let me ask you this:
Nick,
without using God, why
you.
did that ham sandwich taste good to you?
What is it?
Well, there you go.
I'm not sure what the point.
You want simple answers.
Can we look at the opposite of this? Why does these Big Mac taste good?
You. I wish I could live in such ignorance, but you know, a lot of you, you know, especially some of the people that come on Jack's channel, they're like, "Oh, humans control people, this and that." You guys want simple answers. The fact is, the world is not simple. It is complicated. People die. Good people die.
If it wasn't simple, how'd the cavemans live, Nick?
Why?
Nick, if it ain't simple, how the cavemans live?
It's not
how
simple.
we live without an iPhone if it's so complete? If it's so complex, how come people?
Nemesis, How many generations can you go back? The reason why you exist right now is because some caveman wasn't killed before they could procreate. How many?
I mean, you think? Look, it's
Are you
simple. Your
telling me that
dog
your
chose
God
to
is
love
more
you,
important than that? I mean, think about all of the generations that lived before you.
Nick.
The thousands of generations that lived
Calm
before
your
you.
mind.
But then you
Actually,
buy into this 20th this
Please
20th
calm your
century
mind.
religion
It's
and want
simple.
to make everything very simple. I mean, you sound like the kids on
I
TikTok.
know the enemy
here,
has you in a
You
state of
want a simple
confusion,
answer? The
you
fact
guys,
is there
and
are
that
no
it's hard
simple
for you to
answers.
slow down.
I'm seeing both of you with patterns of, I'm not sure how to accurately describe it, but you're both very similar in the patterns. You're not listening to each
We're
other.
very similar because we think both of us have the correct answer.
Yes, and that is part of it. So here,
And Nemesis, I'll give you that. I have so much hubris that I think I have the correct answer. But you know what?
let me offer.
I'll offer this. I
Hey
am
Nick,
jealous of you.
Nick,
I want your simplistic view. I
Nick,
wish I could have that.
Nick, I want to
can't.
offer that to you. I'd like to actually help you. I'd like to try. If you're willing to explore and entertain, let's have an offline conversation. Because you mentioned something before. I believe you. I believe you're authentic. I believe you're honest, and you're searching. I know what I have found. And in the past, you mentioned that you had the goal to even improve your ability in the profession. And I think some of the things I've been practicing can help, because what I've been learning.
Jack, you're wrong. I'm actually
I'm wrong?
employed by the Feds. I'm what you call a chaos agent.
You are what?
Chaos agent.
I don't think you're a chaos agent, not intentional.
Okay, never mind then.
And I wasn't calling you.
Never mind. Forget what I said.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't calling you. But within the, actually, there's also not selfish, but grandiose ideas as well, Nick. I'm trying to build connections, and I would really love to build connections with people who actually have some sort of credibility, academia or other positions, and people I don't. The idea I have, I think, is available for this world is a spiritual change, right? Bringing the truth to light through the corruption of the governments and corporations. We can rewrite the rules of society. This is our opportunity if we believe that we can. And I'm pretty confident, America and the governments and the corporations, they've been built the way they've emerged over time. It's taken time, a couple hundred years, and the corporations have really gotten some power around the world. We've got these international corporations that are really stronger than the nations. And we don't have people in office with a backbone to do what's necessary. So as a result of that, we've got wars continuing. What are we up to? What is I heard the counts closing up to 20,000 people murdered in Gaza recently, let alone, I don't even see the reports from Ukraine anymore. I mean, there's human beings are being murdered every moment of every day here on Earth. And yeah, makes you wonder, is there a God? Whoops. But I trust.
There's your answer, Jack. Jack, there's your answer. You just asked it. I told you there's no coincidences. You just asked and you just saw it live on camera. God is real, people. That's how he does it right there.
Well, every moment brings us signs and opportunities. Welcome, Simple Jack. Hugs are here.
Yes. How you doing, Jack Talcott, and everybody in the chat and everybody on the panel? How you guys doing?
Feeling blessed. Thank you.
People call me mentally challenged, Simple Jack and Jack Talcott.
You can't be more simply challenged than a Simple Jack, bro. I went full R.
we are all challenged in our mental capacities, in our physical capacities, in our spiritual paths. We're all challenged. That's what this life is about. It's a challenge to refine us, to improve and develop our characters. And the best way to learn in life is through experience. And that's what this life is for. Our God, our Creator, has gifted us.
God gifted us with the ability to think for ourselves, the
Amen.
ability to make the difference between right and wrong. And you know what God gave us?
Excuse me, Nick.
Responsibility.
Excuse me, Nick. When Jack is talking, can you let him finish?
Thank you, brother. I've been.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, hold on. Sorry, I was looking at the YouTube stream, not the StreamYard stream.
Oh, that
It's like
helps.
5
That
seconds delayed.
helps.
I'm sorry. My fault. Hold on. Let me close it.
Hey, you're good. You're good. Thank you. Hey, this world where we're living, what I have found for myself, if we want to know God, if we want to know anything, the time to know is now. And so recognizing what now is, define now, that is actually, that's another fleeting concept, because now is just, it's eternal. But if we can live in the now, I believe that my experience, I believe this creates the definition, the experience of an eternal life. We move beyond time when we become one with time, when we can flow with time and form. That's what Jesus and the Buddhas were teaching us.
So, Jack.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Continue. I didn't know that you had something.
Please.
You had something.
Well, please go ahead.
So I wanted to discuss the topic that you had put in the title, discussing friendship. And I noticed between Nick and MC Nemesis, they were having a great conversation, but were they having a friendly conversation? And now, to help put that in my perspective is, I just learned this today. I actually had to look up the definition of friendship, the Latin root, all of it, just real quick, Google search it. And one of my problems is I don't have friends because I wasn't being friendly. So I don't know where in the definition it says that friends, are for small groups. No, you can be friends with everyone. You can treat everybody with kindness, sympathy. You can treat everybody with with passion, interest, and all these things to help this out. For example, Nick, you brought up your dog, and examples for your dog. And instead of going like, "Why is your dog doing these things?" I want to ask, "How is your dog? How old is your dog? What
Yeah.
is your name of your dog?" MC
His
Nemesis.
name is Wilhelm Kaiser von Diedrich, and he's very cute. He's a rescue. It took me 2.5 years to get him. Me and my wife, we rescued German Shepherds. Never get a dog from a breeder. We had our name, and we got a call. Said, "Hey, check it out. We got a German Shepherd, little puppy." Took him home, and yeah.
Thank you for turning your camera on. It's nice to put a face to the name.
But
MC
why?
Nemesis, what makes your ham sandwich good to you? What kind of bread did you use? Did you use cheese? Did you fry it? Did you eat it hot, cold? What made
Oh,
you?
it was definitely cold. And hey, Simple Jack, and I think that you're a great level playing field. We're almost there with Nick, almost. So Nick, and Simple Jack, God bless that you're here. Okay, Nick, why did you adopt the dog?
No. Before you ask me a question,
Why did you do it?
Are you speaking
what
for God?
purpose does it serve?
I really
Why
don't
did you
think
adopt the
that
dog?
you speak for God. So I don't consider you a viable resource. So
you can't discredit what I say. You cannot do that.
Well, I am discrediting what you say because my search for God doesn't involve you. because I don't know who you
Oh,
are.
no.
Nick,
Ooh,
why did you adopt the
Please.
dog? Can you answer the question? Why? It didn't help you financially. It hurt you financially.
Well, our neighborhood has had a lot of break-ins. People have been in a lot of cameras. I've had experiences with German Shepherds. They are the best security system in the world. He does
I
his
have a
job.
feeling that you wanted to get a dog because you wanted a dog, Nick, not a protector. I have a feeling
Actually,
that
the better question would be, why do I have a cat? A cat is not really a
yes.
protector, but I do view my cat as a companion. It's my
Okay.
friend. I don't own it. I'm merely its guardian. I provide it safety, give it food. The cat kills spiders and insects. We have sort of the symbiotic relationship. I think dogs, cats, other higher functioning mammals, we're sort of on this. We have a relationship,
And
and
you pet the cat and you love the
I
cat.
consider the dog a part of my family. I would protect my dog as if I would protect my own wife or my own children. Same with the cat. It's just part of being human. Is it logical? I don't know. But
hey, we got
I don't
another
have to
guest.
justify it. It's like, yeah, I mean, you come after my dog, it's like coming after me. It's like, yeah.
So you made the choice.
Yeah, I made the choice. Does my dog have the choice to bond with my family? I don't think so. We got the dog as a puppy. Dogs bond with their quote owners. I don't like using that word, but just for the sake of simplicity, I'll use that word. They bond for them for life. They remember their smell. That's why you see those videos of dogs after years of separation. They just remember who their pack is, and
Sound like you're talking about humans to me.
and yeah, I mean, I'm partial to German Shepherds. But at the same time, I never go to a breeder. But when it comes to adopting dogs, I only adopt German Shepherds because they also provide something for the home. They're a really, 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 really good security system. And I know that my property is safe. My people who I'm responsible for protecting are safe with him there.
I just got here, but
And
is
for
your
that, I give him
assertion?
food and love.
Oh, I was
Vern's
going to
here.
ask you
I
that.
think he
I was
gave me
going to
dinner
ask you, was your assertion that you don't love your dog, but you're saying you do, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
May I add something real quick? It seems like you guys are doing a. Are you guys
What
trying
does
to
that have
change
to
each
do with
other's?
God?
Are you guys trying to change each other's perspectives? Are you guys trying to
I think
understand one another?
That's a great point, Jack.
that's a good
With
question.
Nemesis, I made it quite clear. I'm not trying to convince him of anything. And I'm using him. Forgive me if that's not the pronoun you use, whatever. I'm just saying that my search for a higher purpose is something that I've accepted is part of my evolutionary being. All of us humans at some point ask, why were we born? Why are we here? What is my purpose? Most turn to the church. I went there, didn't find it, and so I chose a different path. That's it. I'm not
What did
denying
you
anything, and I'm
choose?
not trying to convince anybody of anything. This is just my truth. What
It
I
seems
believe is good for me,
Can you
not good for
explain what
you.
you
seems
chose?
Nemesis has brought the intention to convert Nick, though. I mean,
No,
it
no,
seems
Jack. I want to let him know that he has a choice. Is what I want to do.
I
That he
don't have
has
a
two
choice.
choices. That there's
Do
two
we have a
choices.
choice?
Yeah.
well. That's here. I believe we have a choice until we convince ourselves we don't.
No, that's a great point. I mean, I wish I had a choice. I wish I could choose to believe the simple answer.
You can.
I can't.
I'd like
Why
to
not?
help you with it. It's our egoic mind. It is the conditioning of
Oh,
our
wait.
mind.
Egoic mind.
create-
Who has the ego that you actually think
Everyone
that
has
you
an
can,
ego,
that
Nick.
you actually, without knowing anything about me, anything about my lifetime, how I grew up, what led me to this pace, that you have the ego that you can actually convince me to see your point of view?
No, I don't have the ego, but I can offer you the explanations and the reasoning that allowed me to accept the simple. I'm not saying it would work for you, but I know what worked for me.
Granted. Sorry, I apologize.
So-
Granted. Yeah. No, I'm willing to listen. I want to listen.
What I found for myself, it really is this life we're living. It's an inner game. The game of life. It's all played inside, and our egoic patterns, we get in the way. It's when we learn and train ourselves to get out of the way that life can be more of a flow. And with the flow, it doesn't mean everything works out perfectly. It just means you don't get as upset when shit doesn't work out.
It also should mean you manifest things better. Once
Yep.
you reach that peaceful state, you should manifest things better.
I've heard enough testimony. Yes, it does work. In my life, I've not yet found the key. But that's not entirely true either. My first goal that I set to achieve was to grow in my inner peace. And I felt if I could grow in my inner peace better, that would help me professionally and socially, and
Maybe it's a combination of both. I don't know.
both. For me, what is inner peace? I defined meditative mind and inner peace so I could have those goals. And meditative mind and inner peace, it's simply the absence of conflict. In the absence of conflict, we do have peace. And peace, this comes back into the now. Right now,
But
I'm at
is
peace.
conflict bad? I mean, are they not some conflicts?
No, very
that are
good, very good, very good.
I mean, Joe Cool. I mean, the conflict between, let's say, the freedom of the citizen versus the tyranny of what we say are.
You know, you got me with
that a
that
good
one.
conflict?
You know, you
Is that a
got me with
conflict
that.
that needs to be fought? Or would we
Yes.
find inner peace if we just accepted it?
That's
Well,
the-
we're not going to find collective peace. I can
Moment.
tell you that.
It's complicated. That's my point. And
How about
what about
this?
the conflict between man and God?
Again, we can overcomplicate it.
But
But-
think about this.
I
God
think you
has
just had to
given
pick a
us
side.
this brain. This brain right now can create artificial life. Would that not make us the gods now? And if we're the gods, what role does our God have in that equation?
The Bible
Right.
tells you, ye are all gods.
And the
So
Bible
in-
tells us a lot of silly stuff.
I'm just saying in some fashion. Okay, maybe you're not a
So
fan
does
of
the
that.
Quran, so does every religious text since the beginning.
Even in your beliefs, what you've been saying, you believe you have the ability to create things in some ways, which is where I was going with
I
that.
don't
In
believe
some
anything.
definitions, you are gods in the definition
Nick,
that you're using,
Wouldn't you like to rest?
but you're
Wouldn't
not
you like
that
to
God.
rest?
You're right. No. You're right. What if we were the gods? What if you were a god?
I am, but I'm
Sure.
part of him. I still got
Nemesis,
that guy
let me
over
ask you
me.
this.
Yeah.
What if you
Oh,
were
yeah.
a god?
Yeah, I
What
am.
responsibility do you have as being a god?
I got to protect my brother, harm no man,
Can you do that?
learn. Excuse me.
Yeah, but to protect a brother, could that not potentially create a situation where you have to subjugate another?
Well, shoot, I guess
Well,
it's feasible.
let's look at the Arab-Israeli conflict. Which one is right?
Here, actually,
We're good here. We're good. Go
No,
ahead,
which one
Jay.
is
Go
right?
ahead.
Who's right? The Arabs, the Palestinians, or the Israelis?
Those-
Who's
those
right?
who
This thing will
those
never
who are
You're a
change.
god. Now you got to
Listen,
choose.
Israel
This
is right.
thing will never change. What the truth, what's right in the moment. I can't say all Israel's right, all of Palestine is right.
I
Right
can say
from
you
day
don't
to
have
day,
to.
someone may be doing something wrong and shitty.
exactly.
So, Nick,
I don't care if you
Nick,
think Hamas is
One
good.
of your creations.
I don't care. They're not good. I'm sorry. They're not.
So they're both
He's
bad.
entitled to his opinion, and I don't even know what his opinion
I
is.
don't care. I don't
When it
care
comes
if
to-
you think
no, I'm
terrorists
not
are
making an
good.
opinion on the Arab.
There's
Israeli
good and
conflict.
there's
I'm just saying,
bad. Stop gray blurring
once
it.
you assume that
would you-
role of a
It's
god,
black and
you gotta-
white.
Jack has
Stop
something
it.
to say, guys. Jack has something to say.
but how can a god be black and white? A god
has something to
there
say.
can be no
Guys,
there
Nick,
can be
Nick.
no justice
Nick,
if there's black and white.
Nick, you just gonna
Nick.
talk over the host like that, bro?
please, thank
Well,
you.
you're saying a lot of things. But
Let's
there can be no
uncomplicate it.
justice if
Nick,
justice is black and white.
Nick,
Doesn't
let's
exist.
uncomplicate it. Okay, we said we were looking for the simple, yet it's real easy to come up and imagine all of these reasons why this does not work.
That's my point.
Okay,
It's not simple. It's
it is simple,
complicated.
Nick. It is simple when we allow it to be simple because we live in the present. Okay,
But to allow it to be simple is to negate the complexity of it.
no,
Life is
no,
not
The
it's
past
black
and the
white.
future do
It's
not
gray.
exist.
It's
I-
very gray.
let me offer to accept the simplicity. It does not negate the diversity. It does not
Or
do
the complexities.
detail or the complexities. Thank you. It
But,
doesn't negate it.
but to deny that is denying the reality of the situation, because there are no look. Should I kill? Is it right or wrong? That's simple. But when you add into the human equation, life is nothing but
So Nick,
complexities.
It's now.
I don't
Life
wanna inter-
is complex.
Nick,
Is
I don't want to
really
We both
interrupt
got
you,
good
but
arguments.
Nick,
Go
Nick,
ahead,
is there
Nick.
any
you
really
interrupt everybody,
right
so
or
I'm just going
wrong?
to talk over you. Hey, Nick, keep it simple. You right now, we appreciate your
But I
questions.
can't keep it simple.
No, you
because we're
can.
talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
life.
Nick,
You
I'm going to
want
talk
to
over
keep
you
it
every time you
simple.
talk
Nick,
over
hold
me,
on.
Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
So
go
every
ahead.
Hold on.
time,
Sorry, you're right. You're right. Continue. Sorry.
so I'm just, okay?
Thank
What I mean by keep it simple, Nick, you have great questions. You have valid questions. But those questions do
I
not
haven't
apply
asked
to
any questions.
Nemesis, doesn't apply to Jack or Joe Cool right here in the moment. You're
Okay.
beyond us.
So what
So if
about
you
the
want to have a
Israelis?
conversation with us in the moment, I think
What
you'll have a better
about?
response for
Okay.
us.
So let's keep it real then. Let's talk about a real world situation.
No. Let's talk about what's happening on this panel between the five of us
Nothing's
that we
happening
can
on this panel.
change.
We're just talking hyperbole. We're talking about.
No, Nick.
You
Nick,
are.
we're trying to actually have some
So
conversation.
apply it to real world situations, because that's what
Okay,
God.
Nick.
You
What's
think God is
we
interested in
live
this panel,
now.
or God is actually interested in
Nick.
the real world? Let's talk
Hey,
about
Nick.
the real world.
The
Nick,
real
what's-
world is right now. Okay, right now. If we just go within ourselves while the rest of the world is continuing in all of its complexity, all of its amazingness, it's continuing. But we are here and now.
Okay.
And-
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So let me offer this. Let me offer something which is not so volatile as current politics. Let's talk.
None of that shit was volatile, by the way.
Let's talk about the British Empire. Okay?
Nope.
The sun shall never set on the British Empire. Was this
Okay.
a good thing for the world? A
No.
good thing for humanity? Something which God would have supported, or was
You
it a bad thing?
I'm more interested
That's
in
like
what's going
saying
on with
all
Nick.
black
No, these
people.
are
Why-
real. But you see, the problem is these are real questions which real humans, us, you,
Nick.
you,
I don't think these things
all of
are
us have
heavy
to wrestle with.
as you
Is
keep
this a
thinking
good
they
thing
are.
or
Maybe
a bad
Jack
thing?
is right, and you're overcomplicating things. You can't say
life
you.
is
Hold on. Let me finish.
overcomplicated.
Let
it's
Once
not.
you hear the whole
Joe
thing,
Cool,
then
that's
you'll
my
have a
point.
better understanding of
You
what
want
I'm
to make
saying.
it simple,
Nick,
but
No,
it's not
you don't
simple.
know what I want yet, because I got out a few sentences and you're trying desperately to fucking speak over me. Perhaps it sounds like you're trying to say, put label a whole thing. What a British good
No,
or bad?
no, I
If
said
you stop it, I'm not done. It just sounds like my opinion.
no, you
If
said
if
something which is
yes,
demonstrably not true.
if
So
you
I said no.
yeah, I'm just telling. Okay, great. It sounds like you're asking me, was the British a whole group of motherfuckers bad, or is the Israelis a whole group
No,
of
that's not what I
motherfuckers
was
bad?
saying. But tell me
I'm
what,
not
Joe Cole,
sure.
I will ask
I'm
you.
not sure
No,
that's even
Joe,
a thing.
let's make it simple. I'll ask you. Do you think the British Empire, its colonial empire, was a good for humanity, or was it a bad? Now I'm
You're
asking you
talking
directly.
about net,
What
because
is
surely it was
Hold on,
both, right?
Joe. Please don't
Yeah, by
entertain this right
definition,
now.
net. Was
Nick,
it
No,
net?
this is lightweight
Nick.
shit, bro. It was like
I appreciate what you're saying, but I can
All
tell you
I'm
right
saying-
now,
I'm
you're on the
not
wrong
actually
panel.
trying to debate whether it was
You're on
good
the
or not. I'm
wrong
just trying to
panel,
say,
Nick.
in the real world, here in the universe,
You're on the wrong panel,
these
my friend.
questions are complicated. No, I'm
it's
not.
on the wrong
what
panel.
you said.
No,
Nothing you said is
I can
complicated
answer
so
all your
far,
real
Nick.
world complications if you'll let me, Nick. But you don't
Okay.
validate. You don't
I
validate.
threw out the question.
this?
I wanted to clarify what the question was. I put it
Fascinating.
out there.
I
Has
will
it been
listen,
like
Nick.
this all night?
Was the British Empire a positive for humanity or a
Yep.
negative? There,
Yeah.
I
The
threw it out
topic
there.
is
Now
friendship,
stop.
Nick. The topic is friendship on this panel. Please go
Please.
back to the topic.
Please.
Please, Nick. That's what we're trying to say. If
Actually,
you're on a
I
panel
thought I
for
already
debate
established. Joe
politics
Cool and
and
I are
history,
friends. We've been friends for a while. Simple Jack, I don't know you, but you look
It's-
cool. And Nemesis and I already
thank you.
established
And
that we're friends.
Nemesis, look at he
so-
turned on his camera. He's sharing a puppy.
He's showing his
Live
puppy.
in the
Very
moment,
cute
please.
puppy.
As well.
This is a friendship panel. I'm more interested in why Jack chose the topic. Because
What was the
Jack's
topic?
friendship.
Friendship.
Are you serious, Joe? Did
I
you
thought that-
not?
I
Your
just got
subtitle
here and
before
Nick was
joining?
talking about something. I don't
As
know.
a friend, you have to do better, Joe. You have to do better, Joe. You can't just hop from panel to
Joe,
panel.
let me
All
ask
right.
you this: What
Cupcake engaged. Ooh.
had
Yeah,
it
go
ever
ahead.
occurred to you that
Thank you, Jack.
what you and I are talking about
You're
are
welcome.
not antagonistic? That we're actually talking about
It has never
we're just
heard
having a
anything.
discussion. We're
Nothing you
just
said
having
was
a discussion.
antagonistic toward me. I loved every moment of the shit you was talking about.
Yes.
And let me add, I thought that your arguments were easily rebutted, debated. They weren't heavy.
I didn't
There was
make
no
any
complexity there.
arguments, though. See that's the irony of it. I never made any arguments. All I said was that
Well,
traditional terrestrial religion.
No. I didn't hear the religious part.
I
That's
didn't find God.
no.
That's
All I was
I'm
got
trying to
in
say.
on was
And everybody else,
British
starting
shit
with
complex.
Nemesis,
That's all I heard.
Wanted to
You were
point
talking
out
about me and you.
that, no, I should
Nemesis
have
ain't
been
said a word
convinced.
since I've been up here.
I don't know. I know Jack. That's about it. But so Nick, I can answer any question that you have. I do have answers for you, but do you really want answers? Honestly,
I didn't
Because
ask
you won't
you
let
for
anybody
that.
finish.
I mean,
Nick.
what
Didn't
good
ask
would
you.
it do if I gave you
No,
that?
I think Nemesis is right. He
Again,
just wants to
Nemesis,
grandstand.
you're
That's why he
asking me
won't let
questions
anyone
which I've
finish.
already
Good
answered.
point.
I don't
Yeah.
think you have.
So
the
what?
answers.
Israel's wrong.
Okay.
So what? How does that affect your life?
Well,
I mean,
up.
Israel's right, not wrong. Israel's correct. Hamas are evil terrorists.
do you want to talk about the Arab-Israeli
Whoa,
conflict, or do you want to
No,
talk about
I
your?
want to talk about.
Whoa. Picking sides in a genocide, Nemesis,
It's not smart.
and then claiming that you have the answers of God for Nick, brother. Check
Well,
yourself.
okay, you're talking about a situation which I will 100% admit my opinion is biased, and therefore I choose not to argue it.
Thank you.
I know who I support in this conflict, and that's it.
We're not
How
here to
My
change
point
minds.
was that when it comes between right and wrong, the Bible wants to make everything sort of black and white, and the fact is they are grays. Life is nothing but exceptions.
Nick, if I could, I am coming to believe that
Stealing
it's
is
more
wrong.
black and white.
If
I've
I
always thought it was
stole
gray.
to protect the life of my
agree with
daughter, is that
Yeah.
wrong? I don't know. I
No,
don't
it's
know if
not
that's right or wrong.
Hey,
Is
let me
murder
swing back.
wrong? Yes.
Nick.
Killing a terrorist who's going to kill my wife, is that wrong? I don't know.
Nick,
They're complicated questions. I'm not
Nick.
saying whether it's right or wrong. I'm just saying I don't know.
Nick,
I don't know.
please-
I want to know. And I
please
think if there is a
consider-
Nick, you got to yield sometime,
Jack,
bro.
Jack,
Especially
as
to
a
the
friend,
hosts.
you have to use your powers.
I
This
know.
is the mute button power. You know what I mean, bro? Like, please
You
use
know,
your
This
powers.
is really bad form.
I
He's the
understand what's
host. Talk
going on
over
right
me.
now,
And
as a
the
friend,
fact
use
that you
your
want to go to the
powers.
host to use the mute
Actually, no.
button, that I
No,
I-
you should be
I
an
can- I
adult
can
and
give
check
you
yourself.
a list of stupid
Hey,
YouTubers who
Nick.
have been bashed intellectually by me. Going,
How about
"Oh,
this?
You're wrong. We
Nick, I'm gonna mute you here, okay? Because I respect you and I appreciate what you're bringing. Now I'm trying to offer you a less complicated view. You said that's what you wanted.
There is no right and wrong.
Well, hold on, Nick.
Gray.
You want it? I know. That's why you're confused. That's why you think it's all complicated because
I'm
you're trying to
confused.
hold on. You're trying to deal through all the gray. Joe said something. I don't know if you heard, but I
I
thought
said I used to think everything was great. Now I'm starting to lean toward it is more black and white, especially when it comes to right and wrong, and that's which is the topic we're talking about.
Can I
And let's-
rephrase
and
it?
let's-
It's black
hold
and
on.
white.
Let me get
let's
to
stick with
this
Joe.
point.
Yeah,
no,
let's let
that's-
Jack
that's
finish.
great
Let's let
topic.
Jack
One
finish.
point, please. Thank you.
Good topic.
The simplicity. Remember now, right now. Now is when life is happening. So, to simplify it, what is true, what is not? Okay.
Great
True
job, Jack.
or not. And truth really has to have love in the consideration. If we jump only to the logic, we're going to jump to these conclusions that one side of a war is better than another. We're going to jump to these conclusions that if I want to protect someone, I've got to belittle someone else. Or that wasn't the
Perhaps.
word you used.
But I understand where you're going. Perhaps you're right. Perhaps.
We've just got to learn how to communicate with each other. Okay.
Well,
And
That's
honestly,
nothing true was ever said in that, bro.
the topic of friendship, where I did want to bring the topic and the idea, actually, we've kind of naturally found our way there too. But the idea of God is our best friend. And if you can establish that relationship for you to where your best friend in this world is the creator, who do you have to worry about? Who do you have to fear? We don't. We're
How do you
here to
find a
love.
creator?
I had to connect, do research and role models, and then I had to reconnect my energy and
Both
keep
dope.
myself humble myself every morning to my God.
All great things, bro. And all I
Thank you,
think
Joe.
is great
Appreciate it.
advice to get them up on the path where they need to be. Great advice.
Great question, Joe. And Nemesis, thanks for turning on your camera and showing us your puppy. We appreciate it.
Believe it or
Your
not,
puppy is
I
very
was
cute.
much
That's
like
good,
Nick.
Cage.
Very cute.
When I first came here, I was much like Nick, and Jack can testify. And a little bit crazier, right? Frantic speaking, anxious minded.
You have mellowed since I first
I
met you.
have
Nemesis.
dedicated a song to Jack, and I wasn't going to tell him, but I guess I will. And he inspired me to quote him in a song on my song "Demon Killer."
I'm cringing. Jack,
like
Simple
live
Jack is
without
like,
fear.
yeah, I'm cringing.
And I quote him because I say, "Live without fear, live
Yeah.
without fear."
Yeah.
Thank
And
you
it's
for
a song about killing demons. I took Jack's
Very
energy,
good.
and he has the Holy Spirit.
Well,
People,
I'm
I'm
Mr.
telling you.
See, I'm actually Jack's accountant, Nemesis, so
We're gonna need some.
we're gonna have to bill you for that because
He
some
has
royalties.
Jack
We're gonna have to
is
bill
a
you for that,
demon
buddy.
killer. Trust me, he has the energy. He has the energy, and he has the power to. Okay, he's going to present to you the choice. That's what his power is given to him by God. Now, once he presents to you the choice, it's up to you. And Paul has chosen the ways of the world. I don't mean to bring
Wait. Can I kick in on Jack?
and I
You
don't
say
mean to.
he's going to present the choice.
I don't even want to say his name, but let's just say Ted has chosen the ways of the world. Materialistic. He said it himself. He's teamed up with celebrities, and he's chosen the way of the world 100%.
I think you're short selling Jack a little bit. If I could, I think you're short selling him. You say he presents a choice. Wait. I say he does present a choice and all of that, but his strong points. You said his strong point was presenting a choice. I say his strong point. He gives it to you straight out right. He gives you the advice that you need straight out right. The rest of the time he's getting in his way, arguing or whatever. But when he's just speaking and telling you, it couldn't be more clearer, in my opinion. I mean, like it gets overlooked, but it be sounding so basic, but it be so true.
A question quickly.
I'm sorry, you go.
Yeah, I'm asking Nemesis. I know you have a cat, buddy. Can you pull it on the camera? I know you have a cat somewhere over there.
My cats, like I tell you the way I treat my
You
cats.
do have
Like
a cat.
I let them run outside. They're just.
What color
is it?
is
Sometimes
it
they
a
go to the
tabby?
basement. I got a black Maine Coon and I got an orange and yellow,
black Maine
orange
Coon.
and white tabby.
Oh my.
Okay.
But Nick, you need in the way. Okay, can you choose? Okay, you're choosing to make it. What if you just can you humor us and make it simple?
I knew you had a cat,
like
buddy.
2 seconds.
Yeah, no,
I'll
I'll humor you. I'll humor you. What?
Can you test the choice? Just like, hey, you might be wrong, but let me test it right quick. Like, imagine if it could.
I'm a scientist. I start with the preposition that I am wrong.
But what if it could be simple, Nick? What if it is?
That's what the scientific method is. I come up
All
with a
right, Nick, I'm
hypothesis,
buying you
I
a sign
assume
to
it's
the
wrong,
capybara.
and I find
See,
evidence to prove that I am wrong. When I can't
Bit of a
find any evidence to show that I am wrong, the conclusion must be correct.
Hey, Nick.
Which is why what Nick was doing, and I agree with Nick, by the way. I like
But I
my
don't
shit being
understand
challenged. Hold
how
on, Nick.
how
Hold
the
on, Nick. I was already
hold on.
talking.
No.
I
I'm
like
finishing
being
this question.
challenged.
I don't understand
I love
how
capybaras.
my theory of
Black
why the sun creates light
Maine
and
coon
heat
cat.
Yeah, come
is
here.
relevant to this discussion. Yeah, it burns protons. Big deal.
All right, Nick.
sun
Nick, what
does
kind of
not-
cat do you have? I know, Nick, you definitely have a cat too.
I have an Egyptian Mao.
See?
The sun does not.
I
create
knew it.
light, God
He's
does.
an Egyptian Mao cat. There you go.
What
But
kind of
wait,
cat you got, Cage?
wait. What we're
I
saying
don't
though,
have a cat.
you say that it creates life.
I say it creates what?
Okay, so you say that the sun creates life. That the sun
I never
creates.
said that. No. All I
Didn't you
said
just
is
say-
that the sun
Talcott, you better not
generates
be having
heat.
any cats
No, hold
over
on.
there.
Let me clarify. I said the sun generates heat and light by burning hydrogen into helium, which is what us nuclear physicists call a thermonuclear reaction. That's all I
And
said.
why did the
I didn't
sun?
say it created life. I didn't say anything about that. I didn't even
I
say
might
how
have.
far away it is.
I might have said how the sun offers us life. That might have been me.
The light helps, but
well,
I'm not a biologist. So
The light and the energy of the sun.
yeah, it helps. It helps.
It creates who we are. I mean, the vastness and the intricacies of
Well, no.
science. I mean, the
Carbon
way
dioxide, seriously,
it
oxygen.
creates.
I have an honest question. Do you have a cat? Yes or no?
I already
No.
said I have an Egyptian Mao.
No, Talcott.
I have two.
Oh my God.
sorry. Aren't cats the
All right, what
greatest?
about you, Simple Jack?
You know,
have a
I
cat
used to
too?
hate cats. I used
Thank
to
you.
hate
Finally,
cats.
one guy. If I could gauge
And
anyone on the panel,
I had a woman who lived with me who apparently I was supposed to marry, but then we broke up. She brought a cat home one day, and she was one of those animal lovers. I thought cats were stinky, they're gross. I was like a dog person. She brought this cat home. I was really angry with her, and so you know what you do when you're really angry with somebody who you live with? You make your own dinner. So I made my own dinner. I made mac and cheese. And this little black cat just went and started eating my mac and cheese. And we became like this.
Yeah,
And
that cat's gonna eat your
a couple of years
dumbass.
later, we broke up and she was going to take my cat from me. We went to fucking court. That's when I learned that a pet is property. But that cat,
The cat's
wow.
gonna eat you, Nick.
You know,
Thank you for
he's
sharing
still-
that story,
he's
Nick.
at
That
my
was cool.
piano today.
That is cool.
Yeah.
He
Shows a
was
heart.
my best friend. Yeah.
This is the Nick I want to talk to. I don't want
and,
to talk to physicist Nick. He's way beyond our scope.
No, you know, and I thought
Yeah,
cats were
yeah,
just
you're just
aloof
talking about
creature,
cats, and
but
there you
you know,
go.
that cat and I shared. You know, we went through the worst times. I mean, a breakup is pretty bad, especially with somebody you're supposed to marry, and that cat was there. I had to travel. I went away for 2 years. The cat was taken care of with somebody else, and when he passed, it God, I still get emotional to this day. That was the first time I experienced death. Like I've never
I
experienced
understand, dude.
death like
I
that.
understand. Thank you for sharing, man.
I
What was your
understand
cat's
that
name?
too, Nick.
His
I
name
had
was
an orange
Steve.
cat. I had an
His
orange
name was
cat
Steve.
myself growing up,
Thank
and
you for sharing your time with Nick Keith.
I had to bury him and stuff. It was terrible.
And
it's
you know
like,
what? It's things like that which make me go beyond him just being just a higher functioning mammal. He's just doing it. Like there was something there, and he knew when I was in a bad mood. He knew when I was in a good mood. He saw me at my worst, at my best. In fact, when my future wife, who came over for the first time, Steve, my new cat's name is Stan, but Steve, he chose this one. He's like, yep, that's the one.
And then, Cage, you
And
had a
that
story
night,
after this?
even though I made her sleep on the couch because I'm a gentleman. First night, you sleep on the couch. I sleep in a bedroom. Steve chose to sleep with her and said, "Yep, this is the one." And wow, when he passed, it was like, and my parents even told me, it's like, you're lucky to go this far in your life without actually losing somebody that close. So yeah, so That's my story about cats. Now I have a cat named Stan.
And it is the simplistic nature.
Mm-hmm.
And Nemesis owns them. Was it what's that big cat called? A Macoon or something like that, or raccoon? What was it? Mancoon? And Nemesis owns the
Yes.
Mancoon.
And I would
Yeah.
like to point out that Nick will get there. Well, peace comes to those who seek it. And like Jack has inspired me. But with Jack, I think one thing is, oh God, I mean, he's above me, but in a way, like I feel like he's you're ahead of me in wisdom. But I'll just wonder, like, you're not dedicated to okay, like the reason I identify as conservative, I think it's moral, Jack. I just think it's moral.
I know.
That's the only reason. I think it's the higher morals.
I understand.
But that's the only reason.
I used to relate. Okay. I went through a period where I played wore a lot of different hats, and I'm not foolish, I don't think. I mean, I looked into things and I found the logical reasonings, the reasons why I was a capitalist, why I was a conservative, and then why I became a Democrat even, and then why I became one who rejects the entire political system. Hey, I love you guys. I'm feeling complete. Feeling like maybe I should wrap it up.
This
Nick,
is some poof. This sounds like poof to me. Privately owned and operated felines. Poof. A nice abbreviation.
I just have one question for you, Jack, before you go. What have you ate today?
Oh, I did eat something.
Yes. What
I was gonna fast. I was gonna fast today, and the next thing I know, I was chewing on some prunes and nuts, and I ate.
What are you gonna eat for dinner, Jack?
He ate his cat.
No, I'm not eating the cat.
Yeah, you are, Jack. Admit it.
No, there was something in my agenda today. I can't remember. When I get done, I'll go back to figuring out what the food was.
Thank you for your time. Thank you, friends. Big hugs to everybody in the chat. Big hugs to everybody on the panel. Thank you, Jack. You're one of my best friends, buddy.
Respect to you. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate you joining, sincerely. And Aaron, I was actually shutting down, but
I saw that. I'm sorry. No, I just wanted to join in on the conversation about friendship and love and connectedness, man, because I think there were some great points, and I think that actually some of the exhibition of character suggested how one can get in one's own way in connecting to each other, hearing what I like to remind people is called the dialectic. There's a name for this, where the thesis and antithesis reach a synthesis by way of a third party and system. And that is the observation of that. And
that's a very pertinent and valuable observation, Aaron. There, I love your shadows dancing, or doing jumping jacks. You should make them do jumping jacks instead of
hold on. I've got this guy's pretty close. This guy.
Can we do a jumping jack? Come on, we need the shadow doing a jumping jack.
This one. Hold on a second. No, this is the same group. I think I don't have the exercise. I'll get a jumping jack for you next time.
Okay, you can put that. You can ponder that one for later.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it really is a thing. I think that more people should be having these kind of discussions rather than arguing. And also, I just want to point out that it is so common in the logic, before I let you go, that we find very easily the draw or the red herring or the deflection or to another topic that may seem reasonable, but it's a false association equivalency. And oftentimes it seems like something we want to connect to it, but these are the things that essentially, look, Lao Tzu points out, you can either take the crushed route of rubble and trouble yourself by falling the whole time, or you can take the road that's been patted down by the ox. And these are the things that we choose to do for ourselves, where we're at in our learning, and we are self-explanatory in that, and often, as we call it online, self-snitching. Anyways,
I just want the shadow background to do jumping jacks, then I'll be.
Come on.
Hold on, the dancer. Hold on, I got you. How about some dancing? She got a booty. Sorry.
No, we need jumping jacks. That's all I'm concerned about.
Hey, I love what you're bringing, both intellectually, spiritually, and in the visually.
Oh,
Aaron,
thanks, man. Thanks. Well, I'll let you go. I just want to hop up. I've been meaning to hop. I've been listening for quite some time, and I don't agree with 100%. I'm also
Sure.
just to let everybody know I'm a non-religious person. I don't associate to anything, So I take that. If anything, I'm what we call the absolutist now, or and I hate that term because it describes the concept of the absolute. I've been practicing something I found in the too. So that's another conversation for another time, though.
Respect. I'd actually love to hear more about that. You're getting my mind spinning with the absolutist.
It's the
becoming
absolute is the concept that based off of what we now know in quantum physics and particle physics, and found through the gateway process as described in the government report.
You know what,
on the
Aaron?
gateway
You know what,
process.
Aaron? Get out of
Yeah.
your imaginary jumping jacks, okay?
No.
Your
I can actually
shadows.
point to science that is the Monroe Institute has like 30 years of science to prove that there are ways to basically mentally project ourselves into the holographic realm, let's just say, and be aware of that, or at least follow the line of cognizance of connection to everything.
Aaron, what do you know about the Count of Saint Germain?
Here.
I know a good deal.
Hold on. Cage, hold
Don't
on.
get me into
Aaron,
it. Yeah.
sincerely, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I want to invite you back. I'd love to
anytime.
actually continue that conversation and get into that again if you're able, if you're willing.
Oh, I'd love to, man. I've been looking for a new place to just be more, philosophical, truly philosophical, as opposed to argumentative, and I see or hear other people's point of view to take, my mind somewhere else because I'm always looking for challenges. That's really, I believe, part of life is experiencing the challenges before it takes it from you. And so, yeah, man, I'm down anytime. I love it.
I love your energy. Love what you're bringing. Let's please connect again. I hope.
Wait, who wanted to talk nuclear physics, quantum? Sorry.
Oh, I'll always talk, but he got to go. I mean, like I'll definitely talk that.
Once you start live,
nuclear physics, no, because I'm not on that level. But quantum physics, I have a much broader knowledge of.
Pions, I'm on your channel.
Yeah. No, I wish I was speaking about pions. Although I have attempted to study. Anyways, it's a bit beyond me on the math. And
I can help you with that. Yeah. Math is very simple.
Well, that's
easy
for you to say, Nick. Easy for you to say,
dude.
Yeah,
I love math. I still count on my fingers.
Oh, okay, that's great.
If I can do it, you can do it.
Oh, I love that attitude, by the way, and thank you. Great hookup. Good deal. I love that.
Wait, but how many fingers do you have?
Exactly.
I have 10.
All right. Hey.
Are you sure? But wait, we got 8.
You.
I only have 9 toes.
Fingers?
All right, guys. Thank you. I'm going to start tossing people. Cage.
Jack, thank you. See you later.
Nick, thank you very much. I have enjoyed you.
If I don't see you before the end of the year, happy holidays to you and all your family and all your guests. We'll see you later.
Blessings for you as well, brother. God bless. Oops. Wait, what was I doing? Mr. Snafu.
As I sat in your dungeon, and I was hoping you. How did it go as you stopped wars and legal secrets today during your show? How did it go today? I sat in your dungeon, but did you get things done? Did you stop legal secrets and end wars today, Mr. Talcott?
Praise God. Brothers and sisters, sincerely, all who joined the panel, thank you. Thank you for clicking the link. Thank you for joining. I enjoyed the conversations, even though there was times where I don't think I did. I got a little, the conversations bounce around often, and that's the way the way we communicate. But you know what? There's some magical, incredible, amazing people that have been coming through here. I feel blessed to know many of you, those who I've met on the panel, those who I've only seen in the chat. We are all in this together, in this lifetime, in this timeline. So while we may have different colors, different genders, different beliefs, different religions, different economic values and standards, we've all got these differences between us. But the one thing we share, one of many things we share, is time. And brothers and sisters, the whole point of friendship, the idea of friendship is to be one with another, to care of another, that you care for yourself. And we can be friends with everybody. And it's really easy to be friends with everybody, to be kind and friendly and caring and attentive. It's really easy to offer those traits with others. Simple Jack did a great job of explaining that. It's really easy for us to be friends with everyone when we're friends with ourselves. The best way to know how you are, what's your relationship with yourself? Go sit in the corner for about 10 minutes or an hour. Just sit there silently with you and see what you discover. Because brothers and sisters, logically, it makes sense. If there is a God, if there is a Father in heaven, the goddess form that reveals all of life for us, if that creative force is there, is omnipresent, is always available, shouldn't that be your best friend? And if in fact God is love, if in fact God is the truth, wouldn't we want to be friends with love? Wouldn't we want to be friends with the truth? Wouldn't you want that intimate and tight relationship with the creative force that allows us to know? Wondering how much to relate of my story. In my past, my friendships have changed. My friendships, my relationships have transformed. That was the life I'm living. And in the changes and in the transformation of my path, I found myself alone here on earth, right? Physically, there were no others around me, yet there's plenty around. They're just living in they're living in the same timeline in a different reality. All these people in my town going through their lives. We've got a world full of people, amazing people, just like you, just like me. They're hidden. These amazing people are hidden by distance and by our opinions, by our thoughts. When it comes down to it, all of us, we're sharing this time together. And if I can make my life a little better, then guess what? I'm going to be a better friend for you. I'm going to be more attentive to you. But the best way I can be attentive and caring for you is to find that attention and the care for myself. Because when we fill ourselves, we have no lack. And we can fill ourselves at each day, each moment. What I've been filling myself with, some people tell you I'm full of shit, but what I've been filling myself with is appreciation. Why? Because it feels good to feel good, and gratitude feels good. So, brothers and sisters, thank you again, sincerely, all of you who have been a part of this Talcottian adventure as it is growing. And hopefully, should everything align, we will return again tomorrow for Talcott Tuesday. Thank you again, brothers and sisters. Peace for everyone. Choose love and live without fear. God bless us all.